Appropriate response, thank you. Thank you guys for coming out tonight. The Comedy Square table. This is our open mic. We're going to see a lot of comedians tonight, do a lot of fun stuff. Before I get into the rules provided by Shakespeare here, I'd like to notify you that there's some cards roaming around here, and we'd like you to give us suggestions because we're going to do an improv game at the end of the show, and we need some help from you guys to create some scenes. So if you have cards, write some ideas down. If you don't have cards, our lovely bartender Ellie can help you out there. We have some in the back and some pens. Please do. It'll be a lot of fun. All right, let's get to the seriousness. All right, first and foremost, this is an open mic. We are all practicing here, so a lot of the material you're going to see tonight is new. We're very excited to present it to you, but we're very fragile comedians, and we appreciate it if you just be patient with us and not heckle us. If we need anything from you, we'll let you know. We'll ask for it specifically from you. Other than that, just listen. If you don't like anything, you don't have to boo. The worst thing possible is to just not laugh, and we'll get that we're not funny. I promise you. I ask you to remember to please take care of Ellie tonight because she takes care of all of us comedians. I also would like to remind the comedians not to do any bad airline food jokes. That's just house rules. For the acoustics of the room, in the beginning, since we're here and all kind of roaming around still, I'd like to just get this right. If you're on any drugs right now, ending in cane or pin, I'd like you to make your way to the sides of the room so you can hold onto the walls. If you're on any drugs ending in hall, your place is by the bar there. If you're on any drugs ending in wanna, your place is right here. And if you're doing this, that would be awesome. And if you're on any drugs ending in Sid or shrooms, it's okay, just remain floating ethereally in the middle of the room there. No Morrissey. Just no Morrissey. We do ask that all carpets match the drapes, and we do have a shaving kit in the back for anybody not prepared. We'd like to remind you that we're all amateurs here, and we all have fragile egos, so we encourage any flash photography. It really makes the experience genuine for us. No Shakespeare in the building, please. No smoking. Please, we do not want to choke up the place with a bunch of fags. If you must throw produce, please limit your options to the phallic-shaped vegetables and fruits, like bananas, zucchini, squash, that kind of thing. I broke my favorite vibrator recently, and I'm looking for something to get me through the night. And most importantly, if you think something is funny, please do laugh. This is a comedy show. And thank you guys so much for coming out to the Hot Spot. I'm going to introduce our host for the evening, Mr. Ken Edwards.
Waynesboro, Virginia. Guess what? We have so many comics, I don't have time to do any jokes of my own. That's okay. That's a good thing. Comedy in Waynesboro, Full House at 7 o'clock. Applause. Thank AB. Thanks for letting this happen. Any comedians who are on the list who haven't checked in with me yet, do so when I am not on the stage, please. Those improv scenes, have you guys seen Whose Line Is It Anyway? Basically the scene, the suggestion we need is scenes from a hat. You guys know that game? Just any what AB is thinking right now. That would be a funny thing for us to have to come up with at the end of the show to have to do. We're doing improv at the end, if you didn't know. So, I saw so many little boys' butts over the weekend? Oh, so many. Oh, I didn't tell you? I was in Disney World. I went to Disney World. That's something they don't tell you about Disney World is, and you're lucky that I'm here to tell you now. When you go, guys, walking in the bathroom, lined up at the urinals will be an army of kids who do not know or understand how buttons and zippers work. I don't understand how you parents are so impressed with their ability to tie their shoes, yet I saw butts at age 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There were some big kids. I didn't ask them how old they were. I just saw that many that I had to have covered the whole spectrum of little kids. Honestly, it was great. I liked it. Because now I know I'm not interested. Now I'm sure. We stayed at a Disney resort, and in the hotel, they have this channel that only shows classic Disney cartoons. And I'm like, this is exciting. So we're in bed after the first day of exploring the Magic Kingdom. You know, we've like hugged Donald Duck that day, and the first cartoon we turn on, we're in bed, and it's like 3 minutes of cuteness, but the cartoon, because they're really short, it ends with Donald Duck beating up a woman. Classic. Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to take up too much time. We got a whole lot of comics. I actually had to say no for the first time to people, which was insane to me. I'm so happy this is happening. So are you guys ready to start the show? Yeah. Cool. All right. I'm gonna bring your first comic to the stage. This guy is a good friend of mine by the name of Tom Wagner. Give it up for him.
What's going on, guys? Hello? Let's try it. What's going on, guys? Fucking wake up out there, man. Maybe I'm just drunk and you guys were talking and I couldn't hear you. I was thinking about, okay, I suffer from a mild case of something called topophobia. If you don't know what it is, it's basically stage fright. Why the fuck am I up here? I'm wondering the same thing. So to get over that, I was actually contemplating coming on stage blindfolded. Would have been interesting, but I found out the insurance really wouldn't cover it if I were to trip and fall over, which I usually do when I'm blindfolded. Not that I ever am. I don't even own a blindfold. I do own a bunny suit, a ball gag, and a butt plug, but I decided not to wear those. I didn't think it would be appropriate. And by the way, if I'm walking funny, it's the shoes. Really. So, I grew up, I lived with my grandmother for a while when I was growing up, and my grandmother, she is now 94 years old. Do the math. She was born in 1920, so she's seen some shit. And it was real interesting growing up with her. I learned a lot. We spent a lot of time together, mostly watching television, which is very educational. I learned that vowels are really only necessary so the people playing along at home can solve the puzzle. I learned how much to bid on the Daily Double. And I learned if I'm ever in a bidding war with somebody, I can bid $1 more than the Showcase Showdown and that'll piss him off so bad, so bad. Learned a lot of life lessons. I mean, Days of Our Lives taught me so much. Don't even start on General Hospital. I haven't watched it in a long time, but I know Sonny is a piece of shit. Still to this day. My grandmother taught me the most powerful word in the English language. I'm going to share it with you guys. I'm going to educate you guys tonight. It's dangerous, but it can cause rage in a room full of people. You ready? Bingo. You have no idea how many of those little crazy hair troll dolls I seen flying through the roller skating rink on Wednesday night. She also taught me how to crochet. I I mean, that's a skill for a 14-year-old boy to learn, right? As well, it didn't really help me with the ladies. I mean, here's my pickup line in middle school. Hey, you want to come over tonight? We're gonna have pot pies and a bunch of Wheel of Fortune, crochet a blanket with my grandma. Where are you going? Come on, it'll be fun. She'll fall asleep. We can play Sega or something. It'll be fun. Watching game shows with my grandma was a lot of fun. There was a lot of game shows that stuck with me, and I thought I outgrew them. And when my wife and I first got together, you know, you get to that point in a relationship where you start trying new things, see what she's into. So we kind of talked about, you know, maybe we'll try talking dirty. So we did, and it was fun. Until afterwards. This baby like that, didn't you? Yeah, well, you know when you were behind me pulling my hair? You know it's not right, baby. Yeah, it was cool right until you screamed out, big money, no whammies, and slapped me on the ass. That was pretty confusing. So like I said, I'm gonna have a drink. I didn't say that, but I'm gonna have a drink. So I've been married for, my wife and I just celebrated our 4-year wedding anniversary. It's 2 weeks ago. Were you guys there? Some of you guys were probably there. I know we have some friends in the audience that were actually there at the wedding also. A few of you were there when we consummated it, but we're not gonna talk about that. If you've been to Pornhub and seen the video, you know what I'm talking about. Those 1,800 views weren't all me, fuck you guys. That's all I'm saying. So my wife got sick a couple weeks ago. She has real bad stomach flu. And I have a kid, I have a son from a previous marriage. We have a son together. And my poor wife, she's laying in bed, sick, throwing up, miserable. Oh, I gotta feed the kids. I said, look, babe, it's a pound of ground beef, a box of potato stroganoff. I got this. I can read. Which is basically all Hamburger Helper is, which made me realize Hamburger Helper was made for men, so they could cook and actually feel like they were making a meal. But what further proves that it was made by a woman for men, not just the written instructions on the back, the instructions also have pictures. In case you're too drunk to read, just look at the little pictures and put this and boil it and it's done. But it's weird. I was making it and I thought, this is weird. Like when I was growing up, I remember like 5 different kinds of Hamburger Helper at the most. Now there's like 12. Where they keep coming up with these ideas. They've run out of ideas, obviously, because now they have Chicken Helper. You know, when you get tired of ground beef, have chicken. They have Asian Helper, which, no offense to any Asian people or people that like Chinese food, if you can't boil water to make rice, Hamburger Helper might be a little bit above your level. I'm sorry. And they do have Tuna Helper. They have a cheesy noodle tuna, which in the box you get cheese and noodles and add tuna, and it's delicious. But I've realized that Betty Crocker's really lost her mind now because do you hear they're coming out with a vegetarian helper? You get the box. That's it. On the back of the box it says season to taste, eat and enjoy. That's pretty much it. And I believe that's all the time I'm gonna have tonight. You guys have been fun. Don't boo. There's a lot of real funny people coming up here. Thank you guys.
Keep it going for Tom Wagner. All right, our second comic for the night. I believe this is only his, second time doing stand-up? All right. we're all here to be supportive, right? Give it up for Trevor Stewart.
These always make me nervous, these microphones and the mic stands. They remind me of the little robot that comes out of Jabba's palace at the very beginning. So yeah, this is my second time doing stand-up. They're being really nice to me and letting me go on pretty early so I can get wasted and forget this travesty afterwards. Y'all probably don't recognize me. I know I don't recognize a lot of you. But some of y'all might recognize my mustache from 1970s porn. More recently, it did a 3-episode arc as a stand-in for Ron Swanson. Woo! Hey! Oh man, this guy's heard about my previous career. Oh man, give it a few, I'll get there. I got those jokes. Hey, that's the second most I've ever made on stage. And the captain in the back is laughing because he was there when I made the most. I have actually been on stage a decent amount. I know it doesn't look like it, I'm all nervous and stuff, but no. I've been on stage a decent amount, and to those of you who saw Rocky Horror Picture Show, I'm really sorry.
Yeah, me too.
Now that just, ow, because I thought about continuing my career as an exotic dancer after that.
Well, you should.
And I looked into getting a DJ. I got a really deaf DJ. But I had to learn American Sign Language. Turns out, though, he's a great DJ. My name in sign language is actually really funny if you're blind. My sign language name is Trevor the Jew Bastard. It's okay, I was 5 when my parents got married. My mom was from a nice Jewish family up around Philly. My dad is a Southern Baptist from South Carolina. They met at a hippie commune in Central Virginia. What am I? Confused. People often, in the vein of being confused, people often ask me, do you like boys? Do you like girls? Are you gay? Are you straight? What are you? I say I'm greedy.
You're you, brother.
Actually, right now I'm being somebody completely different. Me would be too scared to get up on stage and do this. And again, the captain in the back of the room is laughing because he knows better. So, this little old man goes into a deli to get a bowl of matzo ball soup. A few minutes go by, the waiter brings it out to him. A few more minutes go by, he says, waiter, come here, waiter. I need you to try my soup. The waiter goes, what's wrong with it? Does it taste funny? Did you find a fly in it? What's wrong with your soup? He goes, nothing, just try it, just try it. Is it too hot? Is it too cold? What's wrong? Nothing, just try the soup. Well, all right, where's your spoon? Aha! Aha! Ah, what do you know from funny? I think I need to let that writer go. Shlomo, get down here, Shlomo. Yes, boss? I'm sorry, you're fired. That was bad, you're fired. What about Miriam and the kids? They're fired too. I also do impressions. Now, to do my impressions, I have to take my hat off, and I'm not real keen to do that because I kind of have Dwight Yoakam disorder. As soon as I take this hat off, I magically turn into an ugly little troll.
Which troll you gonna do?
See, I told you. This is Jack Jack Nicholson going into a bar in Tribeca? I'd like a Jack and Coke, please. Thank you. Are you talking to me? Are you talking to me? You must be talking to me. I'm the only one here. You gotta be talking to me. Of course I'm talking to you. You're the bartender and I want a drink. All right, this is Christian Slater going into a bar in Tribeca for a drink. Hey man, can I get a drink? Can I get a Jack and Coke, man? Hey, aren't you the same guy who was just in here? A lot of my impressions are actually, they're kind of esoteric. This next one I picked up from a guy in Charlottesville, really funny guy, Kevin Martin. This is Bob Dylan singing 9 Inch Nails. Yeah, like a hole blackens your soul. I'd rather die than give you control. I told you all it was going to be esoteric. I also have a bunch of pretty outdated ones. You know, I've got a Jimmy Stewart. Hi, I'm Mr. Smith, and this is my friend Harvey. We're on our way to Washington. I want to live, Clarence. I also have a run of ex-presidents that I do. I think I'm going to start with Ronald Reagan. Well, I remember my co-star was a chimpanzee, and I liked jelly beans. And Nancy who? Just because I don't work blue doesn't mean I'm not tasteless. The next one is JFK. Ask not what your bartender can do for you, but what you can do for your bartender. And the answer is leave them a large tip. I realize that one's not that funny. I'm just trying to get in good with the bartender. I told y'all, I'm trying to get drunk. And I think I'm gonna finish this out with Gerald Ford walking into a bar. Yeah, no, I'm still a little freaked out by it. I keep waiting for it to blink at me.
Dr. Kelly. Those are some pretty good impressions. I only do one really good impression. It's of an honest Subway employee. And did you want that toasted but somehow not warmed? So I'm curious. I'm curious about you guys. Not really you guys. I'm curious about. Oh, now she's leaving. Oh, that might be the issue some of us were worried about. I was pretty sure Rosie established some ground rules at the beginning, did she not? Did you guys hear those rules about heckling? No heckling. We know heckling is you're trying to make the show better. You're not. Ma'am, what do you do for a living?
I'm a nurse.
You're a nurse? Okay, imagine you're at work trying to do your job. Imagine you're at work trying to do your job, being a nurse, helping the people, right? And you still need to get off at the end of the day. You have an 8-hour shift, but like mid-surgery, the wound like comes to life and swallows you whole and totally takes you off track of what you were supposed to be doing during the day. and then you're still expected to like finish helping the doctor through the surgery somehow and get done by the end of the day. That's a lot like what a heckler's like for us. We have a specific goal. We're trying to appeal to all of you. So I'm not trying. This is cool. This is like mommy hit daddy, and we don't know what to do. You know, I'm gonna be 100% honest with you people. I've never stolen material in my life, but I felt so awkward that I stole a Dane Cook joke just now. You guys forgive me? All right. Are we ready to go on with the show and respect all of the comedians? Do you hear the second part? Is that a yes or a no? Okay, cool. Yay! Everybody give it up for this lady. She's in the front row, she's trying to be supportive, she wants to laugh at some comedy. All right, everybody put your hands together. See, I already forgot the comedian that took so long. I'm sorry, Scotty, I'm sorry. I won't forget you after this, and neither will you. Everybody put your hands together for Scotty Rudin.
Alright, it's no surprise that he mispronounced my last name. The only people that ever get it right are judges and cops for some reason. It's pretty ridiculous. Hey, it's Rudin for everybody. It's Rudin for everybody. So how you guys doing? Alright? I've never actually done this before, so I really apologize if I'm terrible. But anyway, so I've been doing a lot of self-reflecting lately. I've been really thinking hard, thinking deep, and yeah. And I came to the conclusion of something that's like really uncomfortable I was kind of uncomfortable with it at first. I realized I'm actually bi-curious, and yeah, and I've just always wondered what it's like to have money, and so yeah, I'm sure it is. So me and my fiance recently actually we had a baby recently, and yeah, she's about 3 months old or so. But man, kids, they really make you reflect on your life a lot. I realized I'm definitely in the old dude phase of my life. Like, I'm no longer anywhere near like the party phase. Like, I realized this when I was out. No, I beg to differ. I realized when I was my night out consisted. I was in a parking lot of Old Navy, pre-gaming Old Navy with my grandmother to go buy flip-flops. I realized immediately that I was just way past party phase. That's not a party, by the way. Drunk at Old Navy with your grandma is the antithesis of a fucking party. It's just goddamn terrible. Yeah. So yeah, getting older is fucking weird, man. Responsibilities and everything just changing all the time. And alright, so I was sitting in the waiting room at my mechanic's office, and I realized that sitting there is a lot like sitting in like the waiting room at a vet or a doctor's office or something. You go in for something real routine, but it never ends up that way. You go in and you're just trying to get your windshield wiper fluid changed, and the mechanic comes out, no, sir, I'm sorry, but your car's got muffler cancer. Yeah, I know, it's pretty serious. If we don't act soon, though, it's going to spread to your turn signals. We've got to act quickly. It's a pretty simple procedure, though. All you have to do is we make a small incision in your wallet, and we go in and clear out anything green and plastic. That fixes that shit right now. It's fucking ridiculous how expensive things are, though, right? I mean, and it's fucking everything pretty much is expensive, but it's to the point now though with that my bank is actually offering health insurance for my fucking car. And I'm not kidding about that. There is a sign that says it's not just like car insurance, it's insurance for the fucking mechanic. And the vets offer pet health insurance too. My fucking dog eats her own shit and has a 10-year life expectancy. We gets a better healthcare premium than I do at the fucking doctor's office. It's horseshit. God. But I mean, seriously though, I actually tried signing up for the Affordable Care Act, the Obamacare stuff, And that process sucks. I don't know if any of you guys have tried it. Like, this is nothing political, by the way. It just really sucked. Like, they ask you a bunch of personal questions, and then they leave you to like this government-funded marketplace. But that really got me thinking, though. Like, could you imagine how shitty a government-run mall would be? Like, if the government ran malls, it's like you'd go there, you're thinking to yourself at home, you know, like, oh, you know, I think I need a cardigan today, and you're like, I'll just shoot on over to the Barack Obama Mall and fucking go pick that cardigan up real quick. But then you get there and like they close at 4, and you can't get in, so like you have to wait. And like you have to sign up for your parking permit, and that takes 3 weeks to get. And then you finally get in there, and they only accept like checks and fucking campaign donations. Like, and you find that out like after you've waited in line forever. It's ridiculous. It's like, imagine a combination of the DMV and Hollister. Like, it would be the only place outside of Bangkok where you actually take a number to get fucked and leave smelling like a whore. It's ridiculous. You guys have all been to the DMV though, right? I'm sure everybody has to, and that's the point with this, is when you go to the DMV, you kind of go up there expecting it to be kind of, I at least, I think of it like a really shitty Ellis Island. You know, like, everybody has to go there, and you go in, you're thinking like it's gonna be a pretty diverse crowd, and typically, though, it's usually just like a bunch of stereotypical people in there, and that's what's really weird about it. Like, you've got, you know, like an old blind guy trying to pass his vision test, and there's usually like an angry black lady who's working there or like waiting and is angry, and then there's like a Mexican guy who's yelling, and you're not sure if he's angry, but he's probably angry, but you don't know because you don't speak Spanish. But it's kind of like the Grand Wizard of Oz's janitorial staff. Sorry about that one. So, have you guys ever wondered why vests exist? Like, a vest? Like, I can't fucking stand those things. It's like someone made a jacket for a dude with no arms who was a total asshole and left the nub holes, you know, and then decided to be a real dick and sold it to somebody else with arms, and he just kept it because it's pretty fucking sweet. So I was at the free clinic a while back, and yeah, that place, that's a fun place to go to, right? Yeah, so I was in the waiting line, you know, getting my annual AIDS test or whatever. I think it's negative. And that's really fucked up about that, though, is that when you go to get your AIDS test, they only call you if there's something that bad has happened, like if you have AIDS, and they'll like, so you're sitting there for 2-3 weeks, and you're just like terrified they're gonna fucking call you. It's awful. But anyway, I was sitting in there in line waiting to take this test, though, and you know, the nurses are walking by, and I'm kind of checking everybody out, like, yeah, this girl's pretty cute, you know, whatever. And then I realized, like, why the fuck am I even thinking about hitting on someone at the free clinic? Like, they know why I'm there, especially the fucking nurses. Like, they know why I'm there. And, like, even if I did start talking to them, like, what am I gonna say? Like, hey, baby, what are you doing in 2 weeks? It's fucking ridiculous. So I think it's funny also that fast food coupons exist. Like, I can't imagine many people sitting around at home thinking, man, if only Taco Bell were cheaper. Crush that shit. All right. So, last one I got for you guys here, but did you all know that there are people who will literally ruin their lives, just throw away everything to fucking play golf? There are people who are on the same level of income and fucking respect as like heroin addicts and shit. Like, they're living out of their car, like from like scraping by tournament to tournament, you know, and just sucking every tournament. And their parents are at home just like, where did we fucking go wrong? Yeah, I like to imagine these dudes back at home, like when I'm sitting around thinking about this stupid shit. But I like to imagine them outside the country club, and they're just all, oh God. Oh, man, let me hit the back nine. Get out of here, you fucking bum. You catch them down the street a little while later, and they're all like in the alley sucking dick for rounds of putt-putt. Anyway, thank you guys. I'm Scott.
Keep it going for Scott. That was awesome. So I meant to ask this at the beginning. By applause, how many people are here because, or how many people that are here were at one of our 3 previous shows by applause? And how many people here by applause have never been on one of our comedy shows here? That sounds like more people. I can get away with some old jokes. That's awesome. So, you're better. You're better. Not all the way. You have a little bit to go. If you want a set next time, I'll let you sign up. It's not a problem. It's an open mic. All right, you guys ready for your next comic? All right, put your hands together for, this is her first time doing comedy ever, so this is gonna be awesome. Let's not put any pressure on her at all. I'm just kidding. She's gonna do great. Everyone, be supportive. This is gonna be awesome. Kristen Smith.
Come on, baby girl.
Thank you. So, hi Hotspot, what's up? You guys having fun? Awesome. Well, I'm trying to conquer my stage fright tonight, so hold on. So, I'm gonna apologize to the next comic that's after me for the puddle I might leave behind. Clean up, stage right. So I'm gonna tell you, well, wait, I'm doing 3 minutes up here, because like I told my husband, I want to last twice as long as he does. Sexually. Thanks, Brooks. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. I was adopted at 3 months old. My parents were uber fantastic. So they were there through all my firsts. First time I walked, first time I crawled, first time I talked, and of course they had to be there the first time I smoked a joint. Yeah, that's right. My daddy taught me to puff puff fast. So, I grew up in a fairly big house, and it was on a large lot. And, you know, it's a perfect place to host massive parties, or hide bodies. Lot, like acreage, yeah. Yeah. Woo! I'm the youngest of 4 children. I have 3 older brothers. They're great. Really old, but great. And so my oldest brother apparently really wanted to be an only child because when my mom brought my twin brothers home, he looked at them and said, "I've seen them. You can take them back now." And of course she didn't. She couldn't. You know, they were theirs. And then they would be eating in their high chairs, and he would start banging their heads together. Like, hardcore, this is true. And then one day, they went outside to play, all 3 of them, and he decided he wanted to play croquet with them. Their heads. So that wasn't great. And it didn't stop there. I got massively tortured being the only girl by him. So, you know, there's nothing like taking a relaxing swim in the pool and getting yanked under and have no idea who did it. And then, you know, woo! Thank you! And then, you know, all of a sudden you're in your little walker and somebody leaves the gate open accidentally and you go tumbling down the stairs. Yeah, he was rough at 30. So, you know, it was great. And so my mom and my grandma took me to Disneyland for my 4th birthday. It's pretty great, I don't remember it. But I do remember you know it, Prince Freaking Charming gives my best friend the rose instead of me. And it was my birthday. Fucking bastard. It was great. I love it. We're still friends to this day, believe it or not. So, you know, you guys ever get in trouble for something stupid because you're a bad liar? Yeah, we did all the time. I mean, all the time. We got caught smoking and sneaking cigarettes in the bathroom in my house. And, you know, we, of course, left the evidence in the trash can, like anybody would. You know, and was like, Daddy, people light matches when they poop so it doesn't smell bad. That would have worked had the trash can not caught on fire. And, we also got in a lot of trouble for this one. You ever called a sex line and ran up a $4,000 phone bill? Really? Because we were 10. Yeah, so we're great. We're awesome people. But welcome to my family. Now that you know a little bit about me, have a fun stay. Try and keep your sanity. You guys are great. Thank you so much.
It's our first time. That was awesome. That was awesome. So let's test these new people's waters a little bit. Let's see. I've been with my wife and I have been married for almost 2 years now, and we've just entered this. I understand you risking it with anyone else up here, but me right now, that is just ridiculous. I've already addressed it. I was really nice. I might have made a mistake trying to get everybody to applaud you in the first time you did this. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry too. You're right, but see, there's timing to this joke. I'm literally having a one-person conversation on stage in front of 100 people, and that's your fault. What I'm saying is a lot of people are feeling interrupted. It's your fault. There's material we want to get to. So my wife and I have been married almost 2 years. And we just entered this amazing new stage of our relationship, the blowjob phase. And I gotta tell you, that woman is incredible because she knows exactly how long it'll take me to make the other guy come. You interrupted my joke again. You did. Did anyone feel interrupted? Yeah. Ma'am, these are all jokes. We're all having fun here. You have one more chance. All right. Thank you. Now that you guys are prepped and obviously excited, he had his first comedy set ever here last month, and he killed it. I'm excited to see what he has this time. Everybody put your hands together for Loris Jarvis Jr.
I'm one beer shy of my comfort zone, so it's going to be pretty awkward. My goal tonight is have to make you guys laugh and have to make you feel as awkward and uncomfortable as I do up here. These are my notes. I'm actually just checking the World Cup scores. I want to start out kind of personal. I've been sleeping with a married woman now on and off for a few years. It's actually really weird because I work with her husband, and I think he knows what's going on because he hardly ever looks at me, and when he does, he's disgusted. He has like this disgusted look and like a hateful look. And the only time he ever makes eye contact with me is when I'm brushing my teeth or shaving. I'm very awkward around women. I'm lucky to have ever slept with any woman because I'm very awkward around women, and I never say the right things. A woman I work with recently underwent surgery for breast cancer, and everything went well, so that's good. But I wanted to let her know that I cared, so I wrote on her Facebook wall, "Dear Selma, thinking about your boobs." And her husband didn't like that too much. And it's no better with other people. I was driving in the car with my wife, and we were talking about football, because she's trying to relate to me, which is cool. And she was telling me that her favorite position is the tight end because Heath Miller is her favorite player, and he's a tight end. And I, without thinking about it, said, "You would be a wide receiver." And she's a woman, so she's self-conscious, overly self-conscious about her weight. And as soon as I looked over, I saw the look on her face. Oh shit! I said, "No, I didn't mean that you're fat. I meant your vagina is huge." It's because you've been with so many guys that it's just worn out. Whew. Yeah, good save. I know. I almost stepped into one there, but yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, I did. I love you. All right. Quick audience poll here. You can get involved in this one. And how many people here went to the Waynesboro Carnival over the weekend? Yeah. Okay. Good. As I like to call it, the 15 and under hooker festival. It is. I know I'm getting old because I cannot be around these cute little girls in their outfits. Actually, the thought crossed my mind. You know, how much jail time do you get for abduction? Because all I could think about is I want to grab one of these girls and throw them in my windowless van and take them to my house and just put age-appropriate clothes on them. And I think it's that I have a daughter now, and I know that kids go through their phases, but I want to teach my daughter to avoid the hooker phase. I do think that prostitution should be legalized. Adult prostitution should be legalized, along with recreational marijuana. And it's yes, thank you. And that's not because I get drunk and sleep with hookers all the time. It's because I want to. I get high. Damn, I just get high. I do get drunk. Anyhow, I haven't always been as drug-free as I am at this point in my life. I used to, I still have anxiety, which is terrific, but I went to a therapist to try to help me out with it, and he told me that I was self-medicating with alcohol and marijuana, and he specifically told me that alcohol, it can help short-term with your anxiety, but once you go through the withdrawals, it actually makes your anxiety worse. And I took that as him saying, smoke more weed. So I did, and it did quite a bit. Thank you. It did help. But I honestly, they say it affects your memory, but I can't remember when or why I stopped smoking. But I know I did at some point in time. Yeah. Little girl. I got my background pictures of my little girl. Oh yeah, prostitution too. That's the other part of that. Yeah. I'm for legalizing prostitution too, and some people say prostitution is not a victimless crime. They say it affects the families, I say that's not true. What affects the families is the sneaking around and lying. I know for a fact that my wife would be first in line with a fistful of cash just to get me to quit begging for blowjobs every night. She'd get a second job to avoid giving me a job. I don't really blame her though. I'm like a terrible Christmas present. It's there's, you know, from the outside the wrapping is all right, but once you start unwrapping me, it's just layer after layer of disappointment. I used to work out a lot with a friend of mine at the gym, and the rest of my joke. I know. I should have gone faster with that joke. I'm sorry. You're like the worst cheerleader ever. You're like a professional cheerleader who go team, and then you run out and trip them while they're running for a fucking touchdown. It's all right. It's okay. You've been getting better, and all right. Anyhow, I know, and I should be able to deliver a joke in less than a second. I know. I'm a horrible comedian. The thing is, it's like this is like a hobby. Like you said, he asked you your job. Your job is being a nurse. My job, I work in a factory. But this is a hobby. Like I wouldn't. When you're trying to set the world record for gangbangs, I wouldn't come there and try to knock everybody's heart on down. It's not something I would do. So it's just, I know. All right. I think I was talking about working out. I was working out with a friend of mine. We quit working out together because he actually started training to be a bodybuilder. And I tried to see how fast I could destroy all of the progress that I made in 2 years. But he allows himself a cheat day. When he's in training, he allows himself a cheat day every week where he can just basically be a glutton and eat whatever he wants. And those are the days that we hang out. Because my life is just a non-stop series of cheat days. But, okay, I have 2 little jokes to close, well, 1 and possibly 2 jokes to close with here. This is my Mayhem Fest shirt. I've been there a couple times. I'm a metalhead. I play the guitar very, very poorly. The cover that it lasts is not good. But my friends and I tried to start a death metal band. We're gonna name it Morbid Leo Beast. And we were just gonna, use hover around scooters on the stage. Just not really, like the drumming's hard, so just use a drum kit. But okay, you guys seem like a good audience. Yeah, I've been trying not to offend anyone. Who wants to hear, by show of applause, the most offensive joke I've ever written? All right, I'm gonna do it. What's the difference between a fruit and a vegetable? A fruit likes to get fucked in the ass. A vegetable just doesn't seem to mind.
If you guys have seen me before, you know I love that joke. That was amazing. Keep it going for Loris. And fuck it, since you guys were so supportive of that, let's try one of my most offensive ones. It's better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all. But my selfish friend Karen is still whining about her stupid miscarriage when she knows I can't even conceive. So that was my first order of business upon getting up here. My second one was, ma'am, can I get your name? anonymous. Miss? Anonymous. Anonymous. M-I-S-S. Wordplay, rhyming, that's what it's all about, guys. So, you have two options right now. You do. AB, what do you think? All right. Well, ma'am, so you want the show to continue? All right. Well, I would love to make that happen. But it seems by some sudden edits in our set list, the next set is going to be featuring Miss Anonymous. And if she gets an honest laugh, not a laugh where you're making fun of her, let's keep this between you guys, then she gets to stay. So, you clearly want to communicate with everybody in the room, ma'am. Here you go. The stairs are around this side of the stage. We'd love to hear your material. Well, then shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Thank you. And now, I can't think of a better way to bring on my friend, Brukuseru Huber.
I got a way I could shut her up. I could drop my balls in her mouth. You know what they say? One's not enough, two's a mouthful. So, I will warn y'all tonight, a lot of my set is of sexual nature. So if you're not offended by that, by all means stay. If not, there's the door. I'll wait. Good. Okay. That being, I grew up in this town. I went to elementary school here. I didn't go to middle school. I went to middle school in Stanton. But then I came back to Waynesboro to go to high school here at WHS. And I went there because a lot of my friends were here and I wanted to be around them. And they also offered more sports. So my freshman year, I went up for the football team. And it was okay because everyone was about the same size, so it didn't really matter. But when I got there, we were doing 2 days, which is the first couple weeks of practice. And we're all getting to know each other. And one of the guys I meet there is this one guy named Jesse Balin. Now, some of you may remember Jesse Balin recently as Waynesboro High School's most likely to break bad. But when I met him there, we were both 14, and we were just exchanging stories and stuff. And eventually he asked me, what do my parents do? I'm like, well, my mom, she was a nurse, but now she stays at home and takes care of me and my sister. But my dad, he's an OBGYN. And my friend Jesse was like, what's that? I'm like, oh, that's an obstetrician and a gynecologist. What? And I pulled him really close and I said, I'm gonna put this in terms you can understand. He's a pussy doctor. Oh, okay, cool. And then he decides to tell the rest of the team. And the rest of the team's like, oh, Hoover, oh, your dad's a pussy doctor, huh? I'm sure he looks at young things all day. In reality, folks, being an OBGYN is really hard. You gotta deal with calls, you're up at all hours of the night. You're literally like there in the trenches, day in and day out. By trenches, I mean vaginas. And, you know, he told me a few stories about what it's like. For instance, he has this device, imagine like a metal duckbill, and you insert it into the vagina, and you pull the trigger to spread the vagina out so you can see inside. Hello, hello, hello. And sometimes when you're down there, it's accompanied by a queef, straight in the face. Which, that's exactly what I want after my morning bowl of oatmeal and a cup of coffee, is a queef, straight in my face. In fact, you know what? I want to spend 4 years through med school, pay hundreds of thousands of dollars, and go through another couple years of residency just so I can get queefed in the face. Where do I sign up? But the team, you know, didn't let up after that. They're like, oh, but Hoover, I bet your dad knows all the right spots, right? I'm like, actually, guys, the reality is, yes, he does. And he taught his son everything he knows. Ladies. But, you know, in all reality, having an OBGYN for a dad doesn't prepare you for sex. Not at all. You'd think it would, but even when I was a virgin and I lost my virginity for the first time, I didn't know what a queef was. So, like, I'm on top of this girl, humping her like a rabbit squirrel, and all of a sudden I just hear, and I stop, and I'm like, did you just fart? she's like, oh no, she starts laughing, I just quit. I'm like, what the fuck is that? But, you know, I became a little older, a little wiser, and I quickly learned on that sex for men and sex for women are two completely different things. Because sex for men, it's all like, you know, that race to the finish line. It's all sound and fury signifying nothing. And the finish, you know, it's just like, boom! That's it. For women, though, it's super, like, crazy and complex. I mean, you gotta, like, turn levers and, like, get the dials adjusted right and make sure the alignment with the planets and the moon is correct. You boil some water, then you turn that water into wine, then you give it to the girl, make sure she gets drunk, and then maybe you get an orgasm. And when you do, it's something like, and you stand there and you're like, that was good, right? And she's replies, yeah, that's okay. But truth be told, I've been single for a while now, a couple years, and just because I've been too busy to be in a relationship, but because of being single, and some of you women may disapprove of this, I have resorted to viewing pornography. And, you know, it's common among men and even some women. But it's kind of a necessary evil because you do get your sexual release. But, you know, it gives a false preconception of what sex is like. Because I've been waiting so long to deliver pizza to this cheerleader who wants for me to give her the tip instead of the other way around. And, you know, you get into a relationship or you have a girlfriend or something and, you know, you want to try some of the stuff that you see in the porn, but they're never into it. Like blowjobs. And let me just say, for women, first off, blowjobs, this is a very big trust thing for men because we're taking the most sensitive part of our body and putting it into the part of your body that you have bones for chewing food for. So it's like sticking your arm into a bear trap, but the arm is actually your dick. But then when you try to do it, you know, she's never into it. You just stick this thing in their face and she's just like, and then you do, and you look down and it's like, oh, you're not into this. And if she's not into it, I'm not into it. And so, oh, now I just feel guilty. I'm sorry. I really just need you to suck on this thing like your life depended on it. Please. And you know, it's not just blowjobs, threesomes, the whole shebang, pornography. It's like, you know, none of this is ever gonna happen to me, so why would you just dangle that carrot in front of my asshole and not stick it in? While we're on the subject of masturbation though, a couple weeks back I did get super hungover, and the next day I had a headache, my body felt like shit, and it was one of those days where you just are so fucked up that you want to lay in bed all day, but I decided I'll get up and take a shower, maybe that'll make me feel better. And I get to the shower, and I take a shower for like 40 minutes. I'm just letting the water wash over me in anguish, like, oh God, why did I do that last night? And I heard somewhere on the internet that if you masturbate, the endorphin release associated with ejaculation helps alleviate some of the symptoms of hangover. So I'm like, oh, fuck it, I'll try it. So I'm just there, I'm just... And eventually I come, and it was like the most euphoric experience I've ever had. Now, I have to be hungover every time I want to jack off. So I just get drunk every night, just so I can jack off in the morning. But, you know, I mentioned I have been single for a while now, and I've been going through a dry spell for the past, 7 to 8 months. But in the past 2 months, I've gained like 3 fuck buddies, with a 4th on the way, and I'm like, fuck have y'all been the past year of my life? God damn it. But now it's really fucked up because I gotta like schedule them. You know, like, well, I'm gonna fuck girl 1 on Monday, I gotta work Tuesday through Thursday, but Friday I can get girl 3, girl 2's not available till Sunday. But I will admit, and this is not easy for me to admit, that the first girl that broke my dry spell a couple months back, that night, I couldn't get it up. And, you know, I was really freaked out because this has never happened to me before. And I don't know if it was because I was too drunk or anxious, but, you know, she was asking me, is it me? I'm like, no, it's not you. No, hold on, let me try something. And then it's awkward because you gotta go into the bathroom and have the pep talk with your dick. Just like, hey buddy, You doing okay? You doing alright? You want a soda? Oh, I know it's been a while. Oh, I mean, if you're scared, it's okay. We don't have to do this right now. I just really like you to come out and play. And I realized I was talking to my dick. And it made me realize, how do other guys talk to their dicks? Because, you know, you have that sporty guy at the job. He's like, all right, you know, I know it's the bottom of the fourth quarter. You know, they got more points on the board than us, but I just need you to get your game face on. I want you to get your head in the game. I want to go out there and make a score for the home team, all right? It's you and me right now. It's me and you. Yeah, let's go. But then, like, a lot of girls like asshole guys. And how do they talk to their dicks? You're fucking pathetic. You piece of shit. I can't believe you're doing this to me right now. You know, we're supposed to be in this together, and you're bailing on me right now, man. Oh, good. You know what? Good. Be sorry. You're usually sorry. Piece of shit. Hits his dick. But then the next day, you know, I honestly didn't get it up that night. So the girl leaves, and I'm like, I'm embarrassed. The next morning, I wake up and I'm like, man, oh fuck. Like, hopefully I don't have like erectile dysfunction or something. Am I gonna be okay? And then Morning Wood pops up like, hello, good morning, how are you doing? I'm like, dude, where the fuck were you last night? Fuck! He's like, oh, I was not feeling too well, but I'm here now. How you doing? And, you know, you get angry at your dick. You feel resentful. You're like, I can't even look at Brady right now. Fucking traitor. How could you do this to me? Eventually you're like, you know what? You're in timeout. No more porn, no more jacking off for the entire week. And he looks at you with that puppy dog eye. You're just like, oh, I just can't quit you. Thank y'all.
I feel bad because now she looks like she's not having fun. I want you to have fun. I just want everyone else to have fun too. You can laugh. Just laugh. Okay. You were giving me. I felt I might just be my paranoid mind, but I felt you giving me the evil eye. Okay. So we're all having a good time. Can I tell you about myself for a second? My dad never tried to connect with me when I was a child. I was into like, you know, comics, video games, stuff like that. Instead, I have this memory of him teaching me how to install a wall socket. I don't know why. I guess he just thought that was a better outlet for me. I know, teaching a kid to play with electricity, that's shocking, right? Okay, we're gonna keep the show moving along. Our next comic, put your hands together for Chris Ert.
Hello. Any coffee drinkers? Everybody starts their morning with coffee, right? So do I. End of the morning, who has time, right? To sit around and drink coffee like a commercial, it just doesn't happen. So in effort to sort of make my morning happen, I bought some of those sort of to-go cups with the top. You put it in the cup, you take it in the car, you drive to work, right? Of course, use it once, you lose the top. So now this convenient cup, meant to save time, now is a vessel to bring extremely hot liquid into your moving vehicle. It's not a good time. So what else is going on new with me? I am a husband. I'm a newlywed, technically. We've been married about a year and a half. And what marriage means is that you do sometimes some things that you don't necessarily want to do. In other words, oral sex and shopping. So I was shopping with my wife the other day, and I was being a good husband, just kind of waiting, being patient. It wasn't too bad. We had the kid with us, so I was just sort of walking around with him while my wife was meandering around. And then before you knew it, I noticed a product on the table. It was called poo spray. What the fuck? It's poo spray. apparently it's this product that women take with them to the restroom before they take a dump. They spray it in the toilet, and apparently this magical solution draws itself to the turd that they are pushing out of their butthole, and somehow making this magical turd not smell like anything at all except for flowers. It was when I read this description that I realized, bitches be crazy. Even worse than that, my face of disgust and showing my wife, trying to get her to laugh, she ignores me at these times. The woman working me on the counter looks at me and says, "Oh, that stuff is great. I use it all the time." I ran away, as if the store was on fire, or rather, as if she had taken a dump without spraying her poo spray. So enough of my misadventures here in Virginia. Let's go somewhere new. Let's think of someplace other than Waynesboro, Virginia. Somewhere exotic, a little sexy, a little dangerous, that has women that have all of those characteristics, exotic, dangerous. Any suggestions? Crowd participation, please. Where are we going? Jamaica. No. Russia. Screw you. No. Where we are going today, Cancun, good one, but we're not going there either. Well, really, we're not going anywhere. We're staying in Waynesboro, Virginia. But I'm here to talk to you about some place. Think of this as more of sort of an oral adventure where I'm taking you somewhere with my mouth. So we are going to Canada. Oh, Canada. Fireworks. Our home and native land. High kicks. True patriot love. Enough of that. So, the reason why Canada is so near and dear to my heart is that I grew up in Buffalo, New York. Yeah! And in Buffalo, New York, that means that you are about 10 minutes away from Canada. And your next fun fact about Canada is that the drinking age is only 19 years of age. So what does this mean for a young 17-year-old Chriser? This means that you are more likely to pretend that you are 19 than you are 21. So the land of Canada has a whole spectrum of possibilities for you. So this particular day, my friends and I, all of us 17-year-old young buck knuckleheads, our veins filled with piss, vinegar, hormones, and semen, jump into someone's mom's Taurus. And if you grew up into the 2000s, you know what that means. That means it's time to party. Get out of my Taurus! Where's the gas in my Taurus? Again, if you grew up in the 2000s, you've heard that phrase before. So, this is what we do. We're in the Taurus. We're on our way to Canada. So your next fun fact about this exotic destination, Canada. Oh, I forgot to mention, this trip to Canada was special. This trip to Canada, we were going to the strip club. And what is special about Canadian strip clubs is, my friends, that they have no rules. They have full crotch. No pants. No underpants. You go to the Canadian strip club, this is what you get. You get a Arby's roast beef sandwich, 5 for $5 deal, the bun with the onions on top. Anything you want goes in Canada. So we make it there. And let me tell you, this place is not nice. We're not talking, when I say Canada, I'm not talking about Toronto, Montreal, Olympics in Vancouver, fuck that. We're talking about Private Eyes Gentlemen's Club, about an hour and a half outside of Buffalo, New York. You walk in there and I'll tell you the headliner, her name was Storm, and lived up to her name. And her signature mood was literally putting her fingers in her butthole, and then to fling it to the audience. Be glad tonight you came to open mic and not to private acts. Strangely enough, Storm had quite the fan following. I was not one of them, I just witnessed, but just sort of setting the scene for our next event. Now your next fun fact about Canada, and this will come back on the story, so please pay attention. Now Canada's a little weird. Instead of a dollar bill, they have a coin. They have a coin called a loonie, and they actually have a coin called a toonie, and the toonie is actually $2 for you ballers out there. So that means if you're at a Canadian strip club and your name is Little Wayne and you're making it rain, it's not quite like this. It's more like bink, 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 bink. All with the same effect. So in the Canadian strip club in my drunken state, we were there for a while, I lay on the floor, I put this toonie in my mouth, and the stripper is on my face. I have the roast beef sandwich. This is commonplace in Canada. Don't judge the culture, please. And what did I know, but the stripper, it wasn't Storm, just for the record, she took a whip out her back that I didn't see, pulled it out and whipped it straight on my semi-aroused penis. This causing me to jump up, my forehead hitting her in her nether regions, and the coin falling down my throat. I'm choking, I'm turning blue, I'm doing this, and with the strength of Hercules, I grab her ass and throw her from off of my face. The security guards come running out, the lights are on, the music, like a movie, and stops. They're ready to kick my ass. Till then, my buddy Dave Sam Flippo grabs my feet, drags me off the stage, and gives me the Heimlich maneuver so that I can stand here today and tell the story. After all this, that's pretty much all that I got. I got a free t-shirt out of it, some douchebag stole it from me later in the night. But the moral of the story is, be careful what you put in your mouth in a Canadian strip club.
Keep it on for Chris Earth. So I'd never experienced deep throat before, and I wanted to see what that was all about. So I put an ad in the Craigslist personals, but it just said that I had a special thing for chicks who are into bulimia. I'll bring up your next comic. Let's see. I didn't look at who it was before I came up here. All right, your next comic, put your hands together, is his first time performing here, Ian Oldman.
Hey. I'm feeling good. I'm a little drunk, so that's good. That guy's story about Canadian strip clubs, totally true. I'm half Canadian. It's like fucking crazy to tell that story. I have a great story about Canadian strip club, and then I'll get to the rest of my record instead. Went to a strip club in Montreal, or as they call it in Montreal, every other business. They have, alright, so the thing about coins, you're making it hail. You don't make it like rain, you make it fucking hail. It's like a weird, like human rights issue you have when you go there. You know, it's sort of like a Sarah McLachlan commercial where it's like, donate a cup of coffee to the Ethiopian. So there's like, it's weird, strip clubs in Montreal are really weird because no matter where you are, there's like a gaggle of Asian businessmen like flipping off like dollar bills. That's not like an exaggeration, literally every corner. Doesn't matter how close the strippers are, they're just like waving dollar bills. But anyways, the main point of the story is the coins. The coins are like totally the main part there. And so there's a stripper who's spread eagle, and it's make it hail on him, right? And the stripper gets a toonie, $2 bill, right in her cooter. And she fucking winked at the guy. Like, you hit the jackpot, buddy. Wait for the payout. All right, now that's just my anecdotal part about Canada. Visit. We could use the tourism money. How's everyone doing tonight, though? Is everyone feeling good? Is everyone great? Yeah. I mean, this lady's cheering up a little bit. It's good to see you. That's great. Excellent. Awesome. Synonyms. So we're about 6 months through a year, right? I don't know if anyone else did New Year's resolution, but I hope you're keeping up with them pretty well. Is everyone doing their New Year's resolutions pretty well? Yeah, that's great. Fuck. You went like 9 days without smoking a cigarette, and you're like, yeah, that's not gonna happen. Mine's going pretty well though. I decided this year I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it this year. My New Year's resolution, I'm getting circumcised. That's my good thing there. About 3/4 through the way through my Indiegogo campaign, which is pretty good. So if you want to donate, go to Ian Ullman Get Circumcised, #Indiegogo. The good thing about Indiegogo though is I can keep the money if I don't reach my goal, so I can still get my second butthole. When I jerk off, there's all these ads that are like, find the local sluts in your area. This isn't a big area. I'm pretty sure I know all the local sluts, and they hate me. It's getting bad though. I'll tell you, I jerk off so much. When I was a kid and started jerking off, it was scary. Just how much pressure I had. I was knocking the top off a fire hydrant in the ghetto. Kids were dancing in it. People rejoicing. There's Hey Arnold episodes made about it. But now, I jerk off with such ferocity and vigor that it's my urethra has to look like one of those abandoned missile silos out in the Midwest, you know? My cum just lazily leaks out like a basset hound sliding down carpeted stairs. While we're on the topic of cum, everyone's favorite subject, this is real. The last part, I don't know if you could tell about my anecdotes. It wasn't, well, it was true, but it wasn't, exaggerated. But there's a Colombian tribe still in existence that they believe for their children to grow, they have to ingest the semen of their elders. It's not sexual, it's just what they truly believe. I've always thought that it would be amazing to go there and just take a kid. He still grows, just give him, these Flintstone vitamins, some bananas. But though the flip side of that is, though, what if there's something in that soil where if the kids don't swallow cum, they won't grow? And that's where we get all the actors from Game of Thrones for. I think that's where they're all from. Cum swallowing midget joke does not work. Okay. Good to know. This is great. There's all the young, beautiful women right here, right in front of the stage. Perfect for my cum jokes. That's great. Thank you for being right here for me. Really boost my self-confidence. It's good. It's obviously why I'm telling comedy, to meet women. Some say that food is the quickest way to a man's heart. I disagree. I say the quickest way to a man's heart is you make an incision in his chest cavity, and then you pull the ribs back, and it should be right there, unless he's got something else. I've got an idea for a game show. It's called So You Think Your Prison Can Dance. Someone just said, wow, that's right. You'll love this next joke then. I grew up around here. If you grew up in the valley, you knew that they taught you that the valley was a breadbasket of the Confederacy, which really gave new meaning to the South will rise again. I have one last joke. I grew up between here and I spent my summers in Canada, which was weird as a kid. You're trying to find your identity, and the South and Quebec are the most opposite they ever could have been, And so, for example, going up there, they used to tell me that a Southern accent, which was weird. I don't think that's true, But of course, coming down here, they told me that I sounded like a queer. So, all right, thank you very much. Y'all been great. To the bartender.
Alright. So, this is official. I got word from the owner of the place that if you're offended by anything any of the comedians said tonight, if any of the comedians have said anything vulgar to your face while sitting on the stage or anything, that you can get your money back. Just talk to the bartender. Okay, so, let's see, what else can I tell you about myself? I never thought I would be the kind of guy that like has a lot of fun hanging out with a baby, but I have made some amusing observations babysitting my 2-year-old nephew recently. Mainly, the kid does not stop touching his dick. Like, he just yanks on it all day. He has no concept of the faux pas, so he'll do it anywhere. And I've developed a theory that these are the kids that grow up to have bigger dicks than others. Well, Ken, what evidence do you have to support that, you ask? And I really only have my big dick to go on, but how else can you explain my father taking such interest down there at night when I was little? Yeah, he was really good to me. You guys remember the first time you masturbated? I do. I was scared. I thought I like broke it. I almost wish somebody had been there to let me know that it was going to be okay because it felt good and I wanted to be able to do it again. And for this reason, I'm going to teach my kids how to do it before they come of age. Don't worry. I'm not going to like show them or do it to them. I'm not that good of a father. Instead, I'm just going to Google like how to masturbate male, set the laptop on his bed on the eve of his 10th birthday. And then 30 years later, he'll be turning 40 and I'll be like, I know you're still jerking it from time to time, Junior. Happy birthday. All right, I'm gonna bring up your next comic. You guys having fun? All right, everybody put your hands together for Drew Cook. Is that camera on?
Let's give it up for every comedian here tonight. Amateur hour, my asshole. Shit. I know what you guys are thinking. I can see right through you. How is Fat Wolverine going to enlighten us? What is he going to tell us that we don't already know? I'm going to answer that with another question. Who believes in the power of laughter? Who believes in the power of laughter? Who likes to get weird sometimes? Yeah, me too. Me and my girlfriend were getting weird a few days ago. And I got way ahead of myself. Way ahead of myself. And I stuck right here on her face really hard and left a hickey. And it looked like she had a black eye. It looked like I punched her in the face. But, I mean, we laughed about it. It wasn't a big deal. We laughed about it, then went grocery shopping. They were walking through Walmart, and the stares that we were getting just made me feel like shit. They're just looking at her like, Ryan, just do it. You're in public. Ryan. And I'm just like, I'm a fucking nice guy. And then we leave. She looks like a hot version of Rihanna too, so people's minds went wild. That's fucking crazy. That's what happened, right, baby? Tell him. It was a hickey, just like we practiced. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm just fucking with you. She was talking while the race was on. Junior was winning. She knows the rules. Shit, it ain't my fault. Oh, shit. All right. NASCAR. Walmart. Domestic violence. violence. Overused celebrity joke. Check, 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 and check. Got 401. God damn, I'm on fire tonight. Woo! Let freedom ring! No. Seriously though, man. Leave it to corporate-ass slave state America to turn a symbol of love. Turn it into something hateful and negative, man. Like, I don't need those bad vibes in my life, man. Here's a poem I wrote while meditating on the vastness of the cosmos. Bitch, bitch, bitch! Why? Gimme! Mine! Stare at my phone, buy shit, and complain. Same fucking tune, again and again. Self-interest is the only thing I'm chasing. This song fucking sucks! Change the fucking station! Thank you. Namaste. You think little kids in Africa have time to bitch on Twitter and social media? That's what it was. OMG. I got mauled by a tiger and I found out my dad has AIDS. Hashtag FML. I gotta walk 10 miles in hot-ass Africa to get muddy water from my family that has never seen clean water. Hashtag the thirst is real. And this is total BS. Like, WTF. My village was pillaged and all my schoolmates got raped. Hashtag third world problems. You have it so good. Quit bitching. Quit bitching. Be grateful. Please, you're fucking embarrassing yourself. No, actually, like, what are you guys so afraid of that has you on edge all the time? Just death? Is that it? Is it just the big, eerie thing? I mean, I get it. We're, as human beings, we're the only animal on Earth that is conscious that we're going to die, and we're aware of that. And that's fucking scary. That's fucking scary. I mean, it's okay to be scared, though. Everyone's scared. Just don't be a dick about it. like, actually, to take the serious and sadness out of my death, I want it to be a big party. Like, if you rearrange the letters in funeral, you get real fun. That's what I'm going for. That's what I'm going for. Like, I want a Skinner cover band behind my casket, just playing Freebird on repeat. I want a bouncy house and petting zoo for the kids, so they're not, I don't want to go to funeral with me. You know, like, it's funeral's fucking crazy. I want big black BBW strippers everywhere. And it's just caters. I want fireworks, definitely. Fuck America! Nickelodeon slime. Like all over my dead ass body. All over my grandma and shit. And she's like, "What's up? But it's so crazy." I want like wood carved, like chainsaw jugglers, like carved wood too, like when they're done with it. I don't know. I just want you guys to have fun. I don't want you to cry and shit. Thank you. Good night.
Keep going for him. That's what I need. Beepity beep 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 beep. Boop. You know, I told you guys I went to Disney, and every time there was a costume change there, every audience member was just so impressed. It erupted into applause, and I've been trying all night, and you guys haven't reacted one time, so I thought I'd bring out the big guns. Unfortunately, we're not even halfway through the show. This is the biggest gun I have. So I try not to be racist. I try. But I just cannot stand people who jog competitively. The funniest part about that to me is the idea of a robot thinking about racism. All right, I'm gonna bring on your next comic. Everybody put your hands together for Farley!
I got someone else's set tonight. Look at that.
Oh, that's right.
Might be some funny jokes. How's everyone doing tonight? Yeah. Just messed up my set. Look at that. You guys like magic tricks? Yeah? Anyone know any? I fucking know. Yeah. You guys having fun? Yeah? Good. I'm glad to hear that. How about you? Are you having fun? Hi! Are you having fun? Good. I'm glad to hear that. That's good. How many nurses do we have in here tonight? Show of hands. Come on, everyone, raise your hands if you're a nurse. Okay, so if I have a heart attack tonight, someone knows how to help me, right? She's got my back. Anonymous, you're way out. So I finally decided to see a therapist. Finally decided to get some help. She can help me with that too. Look at that. Downfall is there's a restraining order now. She doesn't like me looking at her through the window. That's sad. So, guys or girls, either way, you ever jerk off with the other hand? Yeah? And it has a mind of its own. It doesn't know what it's doing. It doesn't know the grip. It doesn't know the stroke. It's kind of like your retarded cousin jerking you off. Which says a lot for my retarded cousin. She's easy. Thank you for the woo! Yeah. So I have an uncle that's a little bit of an alcoholic. When I say a little bit, I mean a lot. And he was over at our house a while ago, and our dogs were chasing after a squirrel. And they ran out to a part of the yard, and they stopped. And he's like, what are they doing? Why'd they stop? There's a fence. I don't see a fence. No, it's an invisible fence. It's under the ground. Why'd they stop? Because it shocks them when they get close to it. How bad does it hurt? I don't know. I've never tried it. Give me a couple minutes. So he goes and puts on one of these dog collars. And he starts walking out there. And he's like, I'm not feeling nothing. I'm like, go a little further. You're almost there. So he goes out a little further and he goes, I'm still not feeling nothing. Shit. So I run in the garage. I'm like, it's not plugged in. So I plug it in. All of a sudden, there's stereo here. Ah! 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 I turn around. I'm like, holy shit, he's standing there. Ah! I'm gonna give this a minute. All right, come back this way. He comes back over. He goes, that wasn't that bad. No. Takes off the collar. He's got these 2 burn marks right here. And I'm like, no, it wasn't that bad at all. Yeah. That was it for that. So I did drugs when I was younger. Yeah, thank you. Finally tried Coke the other day. Any fans? I like Pepsi so much better. Just saying. So you guys like impressions? Yeah? Good. I have a couple of impressions that I do, but I don't do them often because they all make me out to be a pedophile. I will explain. And I can't just randomly do these, so I have a storyline to go with it. So all the characters I can do impressions for are all in the house waking up one morning. Ah, I'm so bored. What are we gonna do today, Blue? Let's go Chuck E. Cheese, yeah! That sounds like fun. How about you, Jorgen? I love to go to the Chuck E. Cheese. I like to find dates. Where should get the old guy? I can't get him off the front porch. He's been there for a week. And who's on the front porch? Where's the pipe boy? Say goodbye if he dies. That's it for my impressions. See? Yeah. Thank you. That's why I don't do them very often. You got any fans in here of RuPaul's Drag Race. A lot more than I expected. So my wife is like a fanatic with this show. And I need all the guys in here to go ahead and join with me on this. Is there not like some people on that show that you would totally fuck with someone else's dick? I'm not gonna do it with mine, because I'm not gay, but I'll do it with someone else's. So anyway, so I was watching the show with her this last season, and there was a person, I don't know, guy, girl, whatever, I don't know what they go by, but it was a person on there, his name was Darien Lake. I thought that was really cool because you know what? That's a theme park I used to go to as a kid in New York. And they're about the same size. It's always funny when a fat guy picks on another fat guy. So we've been doing this for like 4 months and I cannot figure out why I haven't told this story to anybody. I'm gonna tell you guys the abomination that was my 2-year-old's birthday. All right? My 2-year-old is a fan of cartoons and his favorite cartoon is Scooby-Doo. Anybody else like Scooby-Doo? So that's cool because that show's been on for like 50 years and it's still popular. So I thought to myself, you know, I'm gonna be the good dad and I'm gonna rent a costume. And I didn't go cheap. I went with one of those really expensive ones where it's like $100 a day. Bad idea. So I even like watched a couple Scooby, shows so I could see like how he pranced and stuff like that when he was on 2 legs. So I was like, I got this. So I get home from work and I quickly change into this costume. I realized, number one, I'm a big dude and I never called to check on the fucking size. So the arms came down to about here, and the gloves only went to here. The legs were about here. So if I stood up against a white wall, I looked like Scooby-Doo got chopped up. Okay? So I snuck around the neighbor's house, and I come around it from a distance. My son's like, Scooby! Yay! And I got closer, and he's like, Scooby, go away, go away, go away, go away. And about that time they started saying that, the other 15 kids that were there were all like, ah! So everyone, and all the adults in the group were all sitting there like, take off your head, show them who you are. Yeah, that's a good fucking idea. So I pull off my head, and he's like, Scooby ain't daddy! The week after that, he would not go outside. He kept looking around the corner. Scooby coming? Scooby gonna get me? Scooby coming? That was how I fucked up my kid's life. So while we're talking about my kids, along with my kids that live with me, I have a German grandmother that lives with me. No applause, you guys must have German grandmothers too. So having a German grandma live with you is really bad because she's really set in her ways. So she tells me how I need to do everything, how I need to clean my house, how I cook my food, how I dress, how I need not to shave my mustache about yay wide. Apparently that's a problem. So, but the worst part about having a German grandma is you can't argue with her. Like, I get into an argument and I'm fucking winning, okay? But then she ends it by spouting off something in German and just pisses me off. I don't know what you said. I said you're stupid and you have a tiny penis. Touche. So the other part is that my son, who's 2 years old, he's getting more expanding with his words. And he also can do accents now, apparently, because he has a German accent. The other day I was watching TV, and he come walking into the room and he's going, no more Jews! What the fuck did you just say? I have a little Hitler on my hands. What was that, son? Mom said no more Jews. I want juice in my sippy cup. Jews, thank God. Oh, that was gonna get bad. True story. So if any of you are laughing, that really fucking happened. So because I have a German grandma, I decided to look into my heritage and I found out that I'm actually part Jewish too. No offense, got it. All right, so, and I realized that explains a lot about me because the German side of me has this odd fascination with putting stuff in ovens. And the Jewish side of me never wants to get on a train or camp anywhere that there's a fence. That was horrible. Any Jews in here? Because I'm sorry if I offended you. Get your money back for coming in here, okay?
It's okay, you're funny, boo.
Thank you. It's always good when another comedian tells you funny. It's like your mom saying, "You're handsome, honey." Thanks. So guys, I need your help with this. Have you ever sat down on a hard chair and sat on your nuts? Or stepped up too quickly and stepped on your nuts? And then you realize you crushed your nuts, you gotta go back to the store to buy more nuts. Realize they don't have any nuts, so you get all mad with yourself. You decide to go to McDonald's and get a sundae, but they don't have any nuts. Or wait, they do have nuts, but they're wet nuts. And you don't like wet nuts because you don't like soggy nuts. And then you're like, this is really gay. Shit. Okay, so we're gonna jump back to my little 2-year-old, right? Sort of. Anyway, so the other day I took out the trash, and I came back in, and the trash can was flipped over in the kitchen. I'm like, oh, my wife must have cleaned the trash can, let it dry there. Cool deal. I'll go in the next room. So I was watching TV, and I turn around, and I look, and the trash can's in the dining room. Somebody's fucking with me. So I watch for a little bit longer, turn around, it's sitting right by the recliner. I'm like, son of a bitch. Somebody's good. So I look at the TV and use my peripherals. I'm watching that trash can. And I slowly start to see it moving again. I'm like, holy shit, we have a ghost. And then it moves a little quicker and it starts running into the wall and bounces off. And I hear this rattle from the inside. And it does it again. And again. And again. And after the 16th time, I'm like, holy shit, this is probably child abuse by now. I kind of need to stop this. Hey, Gabe! What? Scooby's gonna get you! He runs into the next room, runs into the kitchen, and runs smack dab into the wall. I hear the trash can slide across the floor, and I just hear him get up going, he comes in the next room and goes, where's Scooby? All right, you guys have been great! Have a good night.
Keep it going for Farley. So, speaking of impressions and Scooby-Doo.
Like Zoink Scoob, I just died. Casey Kasem used to do my voice and now I'm dead. Like, wow.
I've never tried it before. Some impressions you just try. I just felt it was inappropriate. It made me laugh. He also talked about Jewish. I just converted to Judaism, actually. I did it for the diet plan because I've never seen a skinny Jew, and my friend says the only rule he follows is he only goes to church on Yom Kippur, so fine. So you guys having fun? I can't hear you. No, really, I can't hear you. This shirt is too loud. All right, I'm glad you guys are having fun because we're halfway through the show, and now I'm going to bring up our next comic, David Smith. There was a typo, and I blame Winston, wherever Winston is. David James, put your hands together for him.
Sorry about that, folks. That's the wrong fake name. No, seriously, I actually caught around here. I can't use my real name. Anyways, because there's a lot of shows. But how many of you guys are out here on a date? Smart. You want to begin though, if you're out here on a date, you want to begin with the dick jokes and stuff like that early. That way you don't end with them in the evening. That's no good at all. So I was never really good at the whole dating thing. I didn't have any good pickup lines. Everybody else has good pickup lines, you know. I lost my number. Can I have yours? Did it hurt when you fell from heaven? Then there's the other ones that are like, I lost a puppy. Help me find it. Got tons of free candy in this van. See, even that guy has a pickup line. I've got nothing. It's terrible. But back in the day, when I actually used to date, my friend and I, we went to this Battle of the Bands. It was awesome. Bands were terrible. The winning band's name was Skank, if that gives you an idea. But he was trying to pick up this girl, so I was supposed to be wingman, dude. You know what that means? Try to make out with her ugly friend. Anyways, so I'm cruising in wingman. I'm off to the 7 o'clock, whatever the hell position it is in fighter pilot. But, and the girl, God, she is hot. The girl he's trying to pick up. really difficult. And she looks up at me and she says, hey. I was like, oh shit. I can't say anything. I'm the wingman. It's my job, right? So, I mean, you can't outdo your buddy. That's not right. So I was ready to like focus in on our friend, and then I married her, and we've been together for 6 years. So I'm the worst wingman ever, basically. I know. I have no regrets. I wish I could take a poster of my hot wife and give it back to myself when I was 14 years old and be like, dude, seriously, it's gonna get great. But then I probably would have beat my shit so hard I'd have a restraining order on my hand. But yeah, exactly, right. But my parents, they're always really good about keeping me in line, which is difficult. We grew up in a trailer park, so apparently before getting married, I should have had my wife pregnant. I fucked up by now. It's difficult. My dad did a great job. He gave me the best talk ever for the birds and the bees. He sat me down and said, son, I know that you're getting older now. Girls are starting to develop, you're starting to develop, and I noticed that half my stash is missing. You've been stealing all my magazines. I really wish you could give them back. But I'm going to give you a little bit of advice. If you get a girl pregnant before you're married, then I'm going to chop your dick off in your sleep. And that was a really effective talk, I have to say. It still haunts me. We haven't had a kid yet. I am scared shitless. I mean, really. But, God, when dating, it was weird in high school because, you know, dated a little bit, but not much. But my mom tried to help me out once before a date. She saw I was nervous and everything, and I was a little stressed out. So she came up to me and said, David, I've got something to give you, okay? And just follow me. So I went into the room. She pulls out this box. She pulls something out of the box. I can't really see what it is. She comes up to me, and I'm thinking, this is my sweet little Italian-American mom. She's so cute. 5 kids. One who kissed me on the head and told me stories when I was little. Very, very sweet little woman. She gave me a banana-flavored condom. And I looked at the box, and it was a 36-pack, and it was half empty. I'm glad you're all laughing. My therapist did too. But that moves me on to my dad and the family. Father's Day weekend was just this weekend. Did you guys get your dad some nice stuff? Wow, y'all suck. There we go. Yes, my dad is awesome. We went through that with the talk about the birds and the bees earlier. But it's really getting tough because he's getting older. He's got a lot of health problems. He doesn't want to go to the doctor's office. You kind of have to bribe him to do it because every time he goes to the doctor's office, doesn't usually get a good diagnosis. Like the first time we went when he was 3, you're like, you got cerebral palsy. The next time we went when he was 30, they're like, you got to do it about diabetes. The next time he went, they were like, oh wait, the diabetes is worse. Now you've got emphysema. The next time rather, it was Parkinson's. So my dad does not want to go to the doctor's office because he's pretty sure the doctor is a fucking wheel that has all the random shit you can get, just spins that shit while my dad's waiting in the waiting room. Just waits for it to land on something bad. So my dad just sits with the blindfold on and a cigarette just waiting for his diagnosis. But recently not recently, but in high school we had a health scare with him. It was really close. He had a really bad sugar low one night, type 2 diabetes. It went all the way down to like 10. Really bad. So we call the ambulance. The ambulance comes, and it's Mount Solon, so the first vehicle to arrive is a Toyota Tacoma. Always gives you good confidence. A little old lady gets out with the medical bag, looks at my dad, goes, oh shit, I'll wait for the ambulance. Us too. Yeah. So they come, they pick my dad up, and carrying him off. It's pretty close. He actually coded in the ambulance. So he was completely out. But now I need to give you a little more backstory about my dad and the way he sleeps. Because this happened in the morning. My dad sleeps as most gentlemen born in the 70s do, in his tighty whities. So when he comes back to life, rebreathes new air. Another thing important to keep in mind is this is the Mount Solon Rescue Squad. It's a volunteer rescue squad. It's Sunday, so they're just dressed in regular clothes. Big burly dudes with beards. So my dad wakes up in a van naked with a big bunch of bearded dudes holding him down. He's a very tolerant man, but somehow getting raped in the back of a van is not exactly what he had in mind. But anyways, after apologizing to the guys at the fire station and the emergency station about my dad trying to break one of their jaws, it was bad, it was awkward. My dad's walk into the car. I stay behind. I say, thank you guys for saving my dad's life. I mean, that was really close. Reach in my pocket. If he ever has a Sugarloaf again, I just want you to give him this. It's banana flavored. He'll love it. Thank you all. You've been great.
David James. Winston, I don't really blame you. You were just the person who told me about it when I freaked out and had to blame somebody. I'm running out of costumes. This is my work shirt. David was talking about his therapist. I tried to go see a therapist once, and it resembled something like this. Like, it was basically just like, and Doc, the fact that the Beatles aren't on Spotify yet just makes me feel like a basket case. Basket Case, that's another song I have to favorite. To which my doctor was like, you don't need therapy. Sorry, bad joke. I had nothing else, but almost true story. We embellish. You guys ready for your next comic? Could be better than that. Alright, put your hands together for Rosie.
Hello. How are you all doing tonight? You guys have been awesome so far. I'm gonna ruin your night. I have a couple characters for you that I've been working on. This is really early stuff, so it's probably bad. Just hold on to your pants. My first character is a girl who wants to be treated equally. My next character is a guy who wants to be treated equally. Toxic shock syndrome. Fuck that shit! Woo! That's it for my characters. Okay, so some jokes, right? That's what we're supposed to be doing up here. So I've been thinking about God a lot lately, obviously. And I've really been thinking about the beginning, like the beginning, and how awkward that first conversation that Adam and God had after they ate of the fruit of knowledge. I mean, to have to like explain yourself to the creator of everything must have been pretty intimidating. So anyway, I think the conversation must have gone something like this. Adam! Adam! Adam, where the hell art thou? Adam, get out of here! Where are you? Oh God. What are you wearing? I just made some like leaves. passive-aggressive comment for God to make. I mean, he's omniscient. He already knows what the fuck has happened. Excuse me. I don't know. Adam? It was Eve's idea. She told me that, well, she said that since you made her for me, that she knew best what was best for me, and she said to eat it, so I did. Adam, I told, excuse me, this is unacceptable. Do you have any idea what you have done? Any idea, young man? Look around you. I created paradise for you. I made you all these awesome animals. I even let you name some of them. I made you something soft. You would fuck you whenever you wanted to and clean up after you. And what did you do? Lose track of her? I shouldn't have to follow behind you and clean up your messes, young man. Of course she encouraged you to eat of the apple of knowledge. Now she knows that she's been taken advantage of this entire time, and she wants you to know it too. I bet she wants to start naming the animals, didn't she? Did she, Adam? Well, I mean, I'll let her name a couple of them. Is that where fairy and unicorn and dragon comes from? Those were my favorite, Adam. And now I have to figure out a way of exterminating them without anybody noticing. What about the poor dinosaurs, Adam? Is this where Clitosaurus Rex came from? Tube-topsaurus? They're gonna look back on this period in history and call this the Cretaceous period. Adam, I am so disappointed in you, young man. Well, you have to leave the garden now, mister. No, don't make me go, no! It was just one little, I just had like a lick. It wasn't even a bite. All right, calm down, Jesus Christ. Oh, he hasn't done it. Forget that I even said that. All right, fine. I'll let you stay under one condition. Eve has to go. She's a horrible influence on you. What? Well, what am I gonna do with this? I don't know. There's plenty of fruit in the garden. Find a cantaloupe or something and drill a hole in it. Leave it out in the sun for a couple days. It's virtually the same thing. I already tried that. Fine. Leave paradise then. See if I care. But in 28 days, mister, the Red Sea is coming for you, and you'll remember the wrath of God. So I've been thinking about, I'm a mom, and I've been thinking about the best way of raising my children, and I've noticed that some of the life lessons that we used to get, passed down from generation to generation, it feels like there's a generation gap, like we're missing something. And I think that is because we don't tell our children nursery rhymes anymore. And I think that this has to do with the fact that they're outdated. Like, we just, they're boring, old. But I think it's a really good way of teaching children things. So I decided to take it upon myself to modernize some nursery rhymes. Let me know if you think it's appropriate for children. All right, this one's an easy one. Everybody knows this one. Jack and Jill both took a pill and chugged a pail of Jaeger. Jack fell down and lost the crown, and Jill came staggering after. Then up Jack got and smoked his rock as fast as he could caper, went to bed and bandaged his head with Klonopin and rolling papers. I like this one. I think this one is appropriate. Reba Reba, Pumpkin Eda, had a man she couldn't keep up. She put him in a gimpin mask, and there she kept her piece of ass. This one is pretty old and outdated. I grew up with this one, but maybe you guys haven't heard this one. Wee Willie Winky runs through town, upstairs, downstairs, in his nightgown, rapping at the windows, checking all the locks. Are the parents in their bed? It's time to log on to Facebook. And I will close my set with this one. It's my favorite. Rosie Posey, puddin' pie, kissed the girls and made them dry. When the boys came out to play, Rosie Posey fucked them.
Keep it going for Rosie. She was talking about Jesus. You know, Christ, he's one of my favorite fictional characters. He seemed like a pretty cool guy. But I wouldn't have trusted anything he said in the hours leading up to his death. Because I heard that the entire time he had his fingers crossed. Alright. Do you guys have those blank pieces of paper for scenes from a hat? Because I'm going to pass this around, and if you do, stick your note cards and your pens in here. I'm going to pass it this way. I hope it can make it all the way around the room and end up over here. That's the goal. All right, you guys ready for your next comic? All right, let's keep the show going. All right, this guy's made us laugh a lot in the last 2 times he's been here. Everybody put your hands together for Paige Campbell.
All right, so I masturbate a lot. I know that's the thing comics say a lot, but you know, I really think I do it more than normal. Like, I think I came out of the womb masturbating. Like, they opened up my mom's pussy and I was just like, no privacy, please. I had the umbilical cord around my neck. I think masturbating is probably pretty weird from the penis's perspective. Like, I think I can see my penis, like, talking to other penises. I'm not gay, I don't know why I'd be talking to other penises. But it's just like, yeah, every night this giant monster comes out of the sky and just chokes me until I throw up. Oh, that's normal. How often does it happen? 11 times a night. That's not normal. 11 times. I do think I'm a chronic masturbator. Because, you know, I masturbate when I'm not even horny. You know, like I'll just be watching like TV or something and I'll get a boner. And it's like, again, really? The Muppets? Come on, man. All right, you win. I think I'm at the point where, you know, I could find out that right now, you know, every time I masturbated, it would take a month off my life. And I would still do it like 8 times a night. 8 months off my life, every night. But I noticed that my masturbating had become a little routine, you know? So I wanted to try some things to spice it up, you know? I tried role-play. Anybody like role-play? Yeah, I dressed my hand up as Pac-Man. I dressed my dick up as one of the ghosts from Pac-Man. I'm probably gonna die masturbating. Like, they're just gonna find me, like, hunched over my computer, just dead. Oh, Kathy Bates is an interesting choice. My obituary will say, Paige Campbell died doing what he loved. That's the thing about obituaries. Obituaries can make anybody sound good. Anybody. Like, I'm sure, like, Saddam Hussein's obituary, he was like, he died doing what he loved. You know? Or eHarmony. Anybody used eHarmony? No? I wouldn't. Because that's the thing about eHarmony. Anybody sounds good on it, even though they're a ton of creeps. You know? Like, I'd like to think about Hitler's eHarmony account. You know, and he's a Charlie Chaplin fan. Nice. Oh, that's so sweet. He runs a summer camp. Nice. And Hitler wouldn't have an eHarmony. He would have a Christian mingle, because there's no Jews in the you guys all have heard that phrase, take a picture, it'll last longer. It's true. Every time before I have sex, I take a picture on my dick. And it works! Well, the other night, I lasted 10 seconds. Got my computer all messy, though. I think cross-dressers are weird, but I think cross-dressers would be even weirder in a Muslim country, right? Like, do cross-dressers in Muslim countries wear burqas? I like just dudes walking around in burqas. Like, they haven't figured out their sexuality. I don't know, but I guess if you were gay or a cross-dresser in a Muslim country, it'd be easy to like convince someone to marry you, because they have arranged marriages. So you could just tell some family that you're a woman, right? And then for your whole marriage, just say you're into anal, never show them your face. So I like Twitter. And I saw a Twitter account, and it said, I call my dick ... And it was a setup for a joke, and you know, all the jokes were douchey, but I thought it was a funny setup, so I wrote my own I call my dick jokes. I call my dick lightning, because it never strikes in the same place twice. I call my dick art display, because there's no touching or flash photography allowed. I call my dick Legos, because it's not recommended for kids age of 3 years or younger. I call my dick grass, because if you sit on it for too long, you'll leave a brown spot. I call my dick Netflix, because for $8 a month, you can have unlimited streaming. I call my dick cookie dough, because my girlfriend eats it raw. Especially when she's depressed. I call my dick the Starship Enterprise, because it boldly goes where no man has gone before. I call my dick pulling an all-nighter, because nothing should be able to stay up that long. I call my dick chicken wings, because it tastes a lot better bone in. I call my dick a PS4, because you can waste a lot of time playing with it. And finally, I call my dick my comedy career, because it's a touchy subject for my dad. Thank you guys very much.
Clearly running out of options. This is what I'm going to bet in tonight. Let's see. What else do I have that I can use on you all? Do you think being a carpenter that Christ, while he was like up there basking in the glory of knowing he was going home, ever like took note in the like actual construction of his cross? Like, oh, sandalwood, interesting choice. Thank you. All right, you guys ready for your next comic? This guy's first time performing here. Show him we love him. Brandon Riley.
Yes. So I'm loving this warm weather. Flip-flops, tank tops. But tank tops is the old shit. The new shit, tank bottoms. Sun's out, buns out. Am I right, bros? Yeah. Yeah. Hi. Look. Window. You're gonna let me motorboat those butt cheeks, right, bro? Right, bro? Bro, where you going? In the summertime, you know, people try and start exercising more, try and start eating better. But eating better is hard with all this fast food temptation. I recently saw that Popeyes Louisiana-style fried chicken added a burrito to their menu. Because, you know, you think Louisiana, you think burrito country. But they named their burrito the best burrito name since the dawn of burrito nomenclature. They called this thing, and I shit you not, the Home Wrecker. A burrito so delicious, you want to fuck it behind your wife's back? Destroy your family? What else is on your Mexican menu there, Popeyes? The two-time and sled enchiladas? Those? The contentious divorce carnitas? That sounds delicious. The every other weekend dad Southwest South taco? Yeah.
their jingle, which is dumb because if you just transpose an S, all of a sudden it's Louisiana's fat. That's more appropriate. Who knows? I also saw that KFC is running a promo right now where if you buy a whole bucket of fried chicken and 2 large sides, they will throw in for free 1 whole cake. A whole fucking cake. They may as well just change their name to KFC when the Cardiac Care Center or Logan Hospital. Tell them, fuck you, I hope you die. Full name. Full name. A whole cake. God bless America. And I strenuously stand up next to you. The cake I will receive. There ain't no doubt diabetes ate my feet. God bless you, KFC. The Cardiac Care Center, Local Hospital, tell them fuck you, I hope you die. While we're on the subject of fast food, who is the maniac who keeps building these fast food restaurants with 2 drive-through windows? They always tell you to drive around to the second window, always. What are they using that first window for? I'm gonna tell you what they're using that first window for. Coats and purses. Now, that observation is only so funny at this point, but I guarantee you the next time you're wheeling around to that second window and you peek in the first window, you're gonna think to yourself immediately, that son of a bitch. Coats and purses. Honey, remember that dumb comedian we saw in Waynesboro? Coats and purses. Fast food isn't the only perpetrator, though. Olive Garden, America's finest fast food Italian restaurant, just finished up their Never-Ending Pasta Bowl event. Never-ending pasta, infinite pasta. You get a bowl, you can fill that shit with pasta as much as you want. Which sounds like a pretty good deal until you remember that never-ending pasta is how that fat fella from the movie Seven was brutally tortured and murdered. I also recently found myself at Outback Steakhouse, America's finest Australian restaurant. But I didn't feel like steak, so I was like looking at the menu, and on the menu they had other options other than steak. They had a thing called No Rules pasta. No rules. And I thought to myself, you know what? I'm a rebel. Waitress, bring me that punk rock pasta. She brings it out, she sets it down, I immediately pick it up, throw it against the wall, rip my pants off, jump up on the table, dong just a waggling in that sweet Australian meat breeze. I start singing Disney-era Elton John songs. Can you feel the love tonight? And I found out the hard way that apparently there are some rules. I'm not necessarily like a health nut or anything, you know? I mean, I'm not. Eat that food, it's great. I disagree with PETA, though, People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. Obviously, I think that animals should be treated ethically up until the very moment that I eat them. I mean, if I could just like go back and like pet them, bottle feed like a calf, and then have somebody else kill it because I'm not a monster, and bring it out and like Parmesan, like, then, you know, give it to me. I hate PETA so much, I'm going to start my own organization called META. Meat eaters are totally all right. And here at META, if you eat one of every animal, we're going to give you a full-length coat made out of panda bears. That's right, we're going to give you a booklet. We're going to give you a booklet, and on each page of the booklet is going to be a little outline of all the different animals, all of them. And we're going to give you a package of stickers. And when you eat an animal, you put a sticker in the book. You eat a giraffe, you put a sticker in the book. You eat a Komodo dragon, you put a sticker in the book. Until you get to the very last page. And on it is the outline of a human being.
It's a Panda Bear coat, people. Nobody said it was going to be easy. Bears are arguably one of the coolest animals. Not panda bears, though. Panda bears suck. Come on. Think about it. You got the brown bear, the black bear, the grizzly bear, polar bear, all badass fucking predators. The coolest. Panda bear's a fucking dork. The panda is the Macaulay Culkin of bear. We lavish it with too much attention when it's young and adorable, and then it grows up to be an unfuckable weirdo. I'm in Spanish Fire, everybody. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I got a Wild Stallion shirt on. You guys like rock and roll? This is where you get to participate a little bit. Hey, hey! 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 Keep going. Hey, hey! Hey, hey! Your next comic is Drew Fridley. Put your hands together. Get excited for him. Put your hands together. Keep it going. Let him get up here. Drew Fridley.
Just stand there like that for 10 minutes. I'd ask you all how you were doing, but I don't do rhetorical questions. I was doing a little spring cleaning the other day, though, and I came across a baseball of mine from when I was a child. And it was an autographed baseball, but instead of being autographed by baseball players, it was autographed by rap artists. And instead of being autographed by the actual rap artists themselves, it was autographed by a prepubescent version of myself. You can imagine an only child standing there with a blank baseball saying, "Sure would be nice to toss this around. No friends." Be cool if it were autographed, though. Not by baseball players. Rap artists. I deliberated on how to accomplish this for maybe 5 seconds before I grabbed a Sharpie, went ahead and printed them on there myself. I figured, no one's gonna know, no one else is here. The only other person that's here is my imaginary friend, hovering over my shoulder, trying to tell me that the R in R. Kelly doesn't stand for rapist. I was reading an article the other day, and it said America may be going back into a recession. And that's our way of saying, hey, rest of the world, we're not doing too swell. But we're still doing better than you. I was in an upscale mall the other day that had pristine marble pillars. And a guy was outside scrubbing those. Now, when you live in a country where your occupation is to scrub pristine marble pillars, that country's not doing too shabby. There are people in the world that don't have shirts, and they'll never have shirts. Meanwhile, we're at the upscale mall looking for a fancy shirt to go on underneath of our fancier shirt. That's a slap in the face to third world countries. Nah, nah. I have 2 fancy shirts on and you don't even own one. I know Americans are problem solvers, so I came up with a few solutions myself to get us back on track. One is to stimulate the economy. We're going to do this by not only celebrating marriage, but also celebrating in the same fashion a divorce. Still going to have the cakes, still going to have the gifts, still going to have the kegs full of Four Loko. And when this really gets off the ground, I'm going to start my own pinata effigy business. They're going to be pinatas that look like your ex-husband or wife.
Yeah!
'Cause everybody's going to want to get out a little frustration at their divorce party. This is for always laying your dirty socks around. And this is for spending all of our money on cocaine. And this is for cheating on me with the church pastor. Next issue, I'm here to save you, homeless. How am I going to do that, you ask? Bring back celebrity boxing. You feel me? But it's not going to be celebrity versus celebrity. It's going to be celebrity versus a homeless person. Here's where the solution comes in. Winner gets 50% of the loser's assets. Now you can see that we're going to have homeless people winning homes. You'll have a few celebrities winning like a backpack, maybe a dog. You know, homeless people, they're not going to have much to lose, so they're going to come out swinging. And we're going to let the middle class vote on which celebrities they get to box to give them a delusionary sense of democracy. You're used to that right now. It's going to be people like Kim Kardashian, Justin Bieber, Amanda Bynes. The hardest person on the list is going to be Chris Brown. It's okay though, because he's going to have a handicap. Because he's going to be confused on who to hit, because surrounding the ring, we're going to have cardboard cutouts of Rihanna. Now, while Chris is confusingly knocking out these cardboard cutouts, old Jack from the 9th Street Alley is going to come in with a swift jab. When Chris is standing there all dazed and confused, here comes Jack. Get over here! Fatality! That's a win-win-win. We have homeless people winning homes. We have the lovely middle class having a sense of self-worth. And we're getting rid of people like Chris Brown. Last thing I want to talk about is something that is going to bring us all together, unify all of us. Talk about something that I keep on my person all the time. I'm sure you have it on your person. You need to carry these everywhere. And of course I'm talking about condoms. Everyone needs to carry around these mini mobile insurance policies. There you go, Fed. You look at you and you're lucky tonight. Some of you may even know me as the Trojan King. Because that's what I changed my name to on Facebook, so that would be my name on Tinder. You gotta play your cards right, swipe right. That's a little Tinder jingle I made. I know what you're thinking.
Don't even think about it. Trademark, 2014. I digress. Anyways, like I said, I carry condoms everywhere I go, and I use condoms regardless of what any girl says, because I was a shitty child, and I don't need that in my life. It doesn't matter if a girl says she's on birth control, if she's infertile, even if a girl said that she had a hysterectomy, still gonna use a condom. Even if that girl walks over to her dresser, opens the drawer, pulls out a jar, and in that jar from said hysterectomy are her ovaries. Admittedly, a jar of ovaries is a nice conversation piece. And I will probably try to barter with her at that time to get that into my possession. That's when I'll offer the trade and say, how would you like to trade that jar of ovaries for a baseball autographed by a rap artist? Thank you all.
Two more comics. You guys feeling good? Yeah! Are you feeling super? Okay. First, I'm going to try one of my lame jokes out on you first. Let's see. There are two kinds of women in this world. There are those who, if you were to ask them the pinnacle example of the peak of womanly excellence, will say Beyonce. And then there are those who think for themselves. Alright, here we go. Here's our next comic. Our second to last comic for the night. Put you guys together, he made us laugh a lot last time, for Will Smith.
How's it going, hot spot? Oh, Waynesboro, love it. Love you guys. You guys have been great. Let's hear it for like everyone else who was up before me. Just for the sake of being cool guys. Cynthia bartender, she's probably the only person that can make that Miley Cyrus haircut look sexy. Including Miley Cyrus. So World Cup's going on. Soccer, everybody. Football. I don't really understand the World Cup. It's like, an American that's really into soccer is basically the same as a 15-year-old that's really into golf. That's kind of how I feel about that whole thing. Moving on along the sports tip, big news today, the U.S. Patent Office has decided not to renew the trademark on the Washington Redskins. The Washington Redskins. Because, and I quote, it's apparently disparaging to Native Americans. So yeah, on June 18th, 2014, they realized it was disparaging to Native Americans. I'll say that again, June 18th, 2014. There are people who are like, oh man, I've been a fan of the Redskins for like 30 years, what am I gonna do? And then you gotta think like, well, slavery lasted like 250 years, so they're kind of pussing out early. Come on. I really hope that the owner of the Redskins like kind of tries to go the complete opposite direction. He's like, oh, can't have the Redskins? Fuck you. How about the Washington Tar Babies? Oh wait, why does my whole team want to kill me? Because that's not cool. Oh man, enough with sports. I can't do the sports thing. Waynesboro, Virginia. I'm from Charlottesville, I'm sorry. Came over the mountain to make you guys laugh. It makes me happy. I like Waynesboro. It's the kind of place you go where you see a lot of bumper stickers about Jesus. They're all really great too. They're all like really kind of like quirky and funny. One of my favorites though, I was behind a car that was
had one of those, the double-edged sword bumper stickers. It was like not only championing their religious agenda, but also their political agenda. And it said, let's see, it said, what if Jesus had been aborted? What if Jesus had been aborted? Well, okay, you should probably go home and read your Bible a little closer because he's just gonna be back in 3 days. And I'm just gonna go out on a limb, that resurrection morning sickness is probably no fun at all. Oh man. All right, got the abortion joke out of the way. I'm not sure which one I hate more. The band Fish or Hitler? It's a tough call. I don't know. You got a band up on stage going, I'm not even gonna try. They're terrible. But it kind of makes me wonder, like Fish fans are really like, they're really like into it and they go to all these different shows and they're like, oh, it's so different, it's so amazing, it's so good every time. And then they collect stuff. Were there like Aryan Nation, Hitler Youth that were that avid about Hitler? Did they like go to like multiple rallies and like you get that really like weirdo that comes up to you? He's like, oh yeah, I saw my Führer at the Auschwitz last week and he did Mein Kampf and led into das Schützenfest. Oh, I'm on so much acid. The Holocaust was from drugs. Don't do drugs, people. Holocausts happen. People have been talking about food tonight. Anyone getting the food? Anyone getting the food here? Which leads me to, so Taco Bell is, Taco Bell. Taco Bell is serving breakfast now. Somebody might want to tell the good people at Taco Bell, that the people who are going to want Taco Bell for breakfast aren't going to be awake when they're serving breakfast. I mean, Taco Bell is bioengineered to only be enjoyed after no less than 3 bong loads and 9 hours of adventure time at about 10:30 at night. So if I wake up in the morning, afternoon, let's be honest, and really want Taco Bell for breakfast, it's already been preceded by a night of horrible decisions. And you know that I'm gonna be like, going to the drive-thru, picking everything off the happier hour menu because nothing makes you happier than when you're on the toilet 2 hours later. Can't we all just breathe a sigh of relief that fast food chains have stopped trying to be healthy? Like, there was this big, like, it was after the whole Jared thing, he's like, come in and buy some, lost all this weight. He still looks like a fish. He lost all that weight, he's still an ugly fish man thing. Oh. Poor Jared. He's rich. Who gives a fuck? But Taco Bell tried to edge in their like Jared clone. It was some chick named Megan or something. I don't know. And she was like, "Oh, I lost all this weight eating Taco Bell." Got news for you, honey. You had a tapeworm in the taco meat. Happens to the best of us, and the rest of us. But Taco Bell is also owned by the whole KFC Coke organization, or Coke or Pepsi, I don't care. Jokes going on. Owned by KFC, which is really kind of like weird, insidious organization. I can only imagine. They brought back the Double Down, which doesn't have bread. It's 2 pieces of like fried chicken. I can't even, looks like it fell off of Lady Gaga's dress 5 years ago. Dated reference. I can only imagine that the home office at KFC, like their business model, is just that photograph of those 2 fat twins on their little scooters, and just above the top just says, America. Everybody walks in and sees that and they're like, yes indeed. What's next? Double Down. Ugh. They're kind of a creepy organization too. While I was doing Wikipedia research for this bit, I found out that they keep those 11 herbs and spices really, really, really locked down. You'd think they were like keeping the Terminator hand from Terminator 2 in there. They actually had to move it while they upgraded their security features. Which makes me wonder, what else are they hiding? Like, what else have they got going on? So I delved a little deeper into this Wikipedia hole and came up with this nugget. Get it? Yeah. Nailed it. So, Harland David Sanders, Colonel Sanders to the rescue, never actually joined the army, by the way. He sold off the rights to KFC, the franchise rights, in, what was it? It was the spring of 63. Winter of 63. He moves to Canada. Wait, no, he fled to Canada. What happened in the fall of 63? Kennedy assassination. That's right. That's right. I just said it. Get Oliver Stone on the phone because JFKFC is happening, folks. I'm not playing around. That dude is sinister. Sinister, guys. Oh, man. I got dragged to a Renaissance fair a little while back. Woo! Yeah, Renaissance fair. You were the one that dragged me, you jerk. And it was kind of weird. It's kind of like your crappy local theater group playing dress up. You know, guys in dresses, women with their boobs literally under their chin. Corsets, folks. It's a beer shelf. So we're hanging out near the entrance, and I see it was. Oh, I should preface this. It was Pirate Day. It was Pirate Day at the Renaissance Fair. So we're hanging out at the entrance. In walks none other than, Jack Sparrow, the only pirate anybody knows or cares about. This dude, okay, he clearly bought his costume at the local thrift shop. He had like regular cargo pants, a puffy shirt type thing that may have come in the package. The bandana with the dreads sewn in, and I think he had like plastic fake leather things that went over his like Nikes. So he walked in, he was all puffed up. He was like, oh yeah, Ren Fair 10 coming at her right now. Those girls love Johnny Depp. I'm almost like Johnny Depp today. Boom. So he was all happy and really excited. So yeah, Jack Sparrow, bucket list. So we went to the beer tent. And I'm on my third or fourth beer at this point because Ren Fair. I see Jack Sparrow number 2, and this guy has like cosplay trophies at home. I swear. Okay, he had real ass dreads. I'm pretty sure he marked his calendar 8 years ago and was like, oh yeah, Jack Sparrow, Pirate Day, it's gonna happen. He had gold teeth. The guy had gold teeth. He had a puffy shirt. He probably stole it from the archives of Seinfeld. He probably made his own pants. He cobbled his own leather hat. It probably came from his pet cow that's still alive. He's gonna do it again next year. But yeah, all the Ren Fair cosplay girls were all like cooing over him, like, woo, real ass Jack Sparrow. And then what I see made my day. I see real ass Jack Sparrow, and about 10 feet behind real ass Jack Sparrow, I see dollar store Jack Sparrow. And he's slinking away, hoping that nobody notices him. Like he was so downtrodden. It was the greatest Norman Rockwell painting that's never been made. I like to call that bit Jack Sparrow and the terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. At the Ren Fair. So I realized pretty recently that I've been single for a little too long. I realized this when I got home on a Friday night, realized both of my roommates were gone for the weekend, and my first thought was an ecstatic, oh man, I can masturbate anywhere. But since I lack the adventurism that comes with a domestic partnership, it just happened on my bed. But I left the door cracked. Left the door cracked on that one. It should have been someone else. Ugh. Guys. I gotta tell you something, guys. I finally have my dream job. Finally have my dream job. It is a dream from which I awake screaming every night, covered in cold sweat, but hey, beggars can't be choosers. To get myself through my shit job a little better each day, I tend to entertain myself, as you can see. What I like to do is I like to sing metal songs in the voice of Fred Schneider from the B-52s. not all metal songs, just one. It's a little Rob Zombie tune called Dragula. I think it's actually the only Rob Zombie song. Like every album he puts out is just 13 tracks of Dragula. Yeah. You drive to it, you don't notice. But yeah, take a ride in my Dragula. Yeah. But this little anecdote led me to my newest side project, which will be debuting soon across the mountain in the good old Villa Charlottes. And currently calling it Ray Ramon and the Romanos. And it's exactly as it sounds. It's Ray Romano playing Ramones tunes. Hey, ho, let's go. Hey, ho, let's go. I want to be sedated. It's an easy impression. It's kind of like Kermit the Frog if he lost all joy. So, all right, everyone's been talking about their dick and coming on things, so I might as well join that little bandwagon. Not the train. Never the train. So, we've all read that book, Everybody Poops, when we're little. Just to kind of, we have weird biological functions as organisms, and we have to get familiar with them, or else it's going to be weird when you become conscious of it. So I decided, since it's really weird the first time it happens to a dude, there should be a book called Everybody Comes. But everybody, ladies, am I right? Not everybody? What's the statistic on that? Like 85-15%? I don't know. Maybe we should just write one for the guys and one for the ladies. Guys, it's Everybody Comes. Ladies, Everybody Comes on your tits. It's starting on prom night, ladies. It's not gonna stop. Get to know your dry cleaner. First name basis, that shit. Saves you some explaining. Big night! Woo! So, everybody's got those even if you're in a relationship, you got your celebrity freebies. You know, you can bang. Oh, I'd like to do Kate Winslet 10 years ago. But what guys don't like to tell people is that we've also got a standby dude. We could, just in case they offer. Doesn't make you gay. It's just a thing. You know, it's a respect thing. So I'm going to throw this out there, and maybe if somebody knows, they can help me out. Whose dick do I have to suck Joseph Gordon-Levitt's dick? Please tell me it's Ryan Gosling. And that's my time. Thank you, everybody. Also, let's hear it for Ken's hats. Ken's hats, everybody. He's wearing all of them. He's fucking wearing all of them.
Keep going for Winston, guys. Good job, man. Alright, so AB is nice enough to stream all of this live, and I have a good friend who's watching live in Ohio right now because he can't be here. My friend Christian Cook, some of you guys might know him. Give him your hands. Put your hands together for Christian Cook. That's for you, buddy. Alright, so before I bring your last comic to the stage, I thought I'd tell you guys my favorite joke. You know that amazing set you saw by comic Drew Fridley a few minutes ago? Well, he hates this joke, so I should probably stop doing it, but for some reason I just love this joke. And my fantasy for this joke is that when I tell it, for the rest of my career, people are gonna scream the punchline back at me. It's so horrible, but it's so memorable. So I'm gonna tell it to you, and then I'm gonna tell it a second time, and you guys are gonna fulfill my fantasy by screaming the punchline back at me. It's easy, all right? You guys agree? All right. What did the seafood chef say when he presented his new condiment? Tartar. All right. Here's your one and only rehearsal and final performance for now. What did the seafood chef say when he presented his new condiment? Thank you so much. Help me in welcoming your final comic to the stage, Winston Smith.
dressed up real nice when I first came here, but it is hotter than the devil's fucking taint. I couldn't help myself. I had no time to shit. And we had a lot of good comments tonight. Like my personal favorite, not to like hate on anybody else, but Paige. I thought Paige's was the shit. Loved it. I like dick jokes. I don't like dick, but I like dick jokes. It's good stuff. I got one for you. My dick is like Pokemon. Woo! I don't need to go any further. This girl's gonna give me a blowjob already. Like, my dick is like Pokemon. You can give me some Pikachu, and I guarantee you, I'll make you squirt. That's for those Nintendo nerds. A lot of you didn't get it. That's okay. All right. Shit. Oh yeah, this is actually like my third time doing this up here on this stage, and you would think that I wouldn't be so nervous, but it's real nerve-wracking. And what's more nerve-wracking than being up here and like talking to like 100 people at one time is talking to one girl at one time. I can't do that shit still, and I'm almost 30. It's real nerve-wracking. There was actually a situation where I was in a room with a friend, and the girl that I like was in the room with us, and this girl that she was with, and or this dude that she was with, or a friend, whatever. I'm not gonna get specifics because if she sees this, she'll know who I'm talking about. But so my friend actually left to go to the bathroom, and then her friend left to go. I don't know, fucking goat. I don't know what he did because the bathroom was already occupied. I don't know what he did with his time. But the important thing is, it was me and this girl. So I'm sitting on the stool because I was at a bar, which is where I usually hang out. I'm a drunkard. And I'm sitting on this stool, and I'm thinking, all right, think. You gotta say something real fucking smooth to this girl. Something that just start a conversation, anything. And I open my mouth, and before I tell you what I said, I just want to tell you this much. I write this stuff like all the time. Like, I may not be the most clever person in the world, but I'm fairly clever. I would like to say, and I don't want to like suck my own dick here on stage, but I'm pretty good. But for some reason, when it came to this time where like it counted, and I wanted to introduce myself to this girl, the very first thing that came to my mind was, have you ever seen a staph infection? Her immediate reaction was like anyone else's. No, and I don't want to. Like, I wish I was making that up, but that's an actual story. And it didn't dawn on me until after I'd actually said it that she probably thought that I was gonna show her one on me. But I had pictures, which is not really any better, but whatever. So, shit. I was gonna say I had some good shit going on. Hold on. It's on a roll. Damn. Yeah. So, yeah. This past weekend kind of sucked ass. Apple, like the greatest company in the world, richest goddamn company in the world as far as I know. Slogan is think different. Well, my iPhone this weekend was like, I know how to think different. I just stopped working. Hey, can you wake me up at 1? Yeah, think different. So I spent the entire weekend without a phone. And you don't think that's a big deal until you spend a fucking weekend without a phone. It's kind of like not having friends at all. It's like being in your own goddamn island. It sucks. But when you're by yourself like that, you start thinking like, man, phones kind of make you stupid. Like, have you seen the way we write on phones or type on phones? There's LOL, there's BTW. Like, we get so fucking dumb that it ends up in our conversations now. Like, I went to a concert one time, and this girl actually, like, just for the conveniency during conversation was like, BT dub. As if that's convenient to the syllables of by the way. Which is weird in itself. And it's getting to the point now that, like, because everything is autocorrected, we pretty much just, like, expect everyone to expect everyone to know what we're talking about when we just mumble shit in general. Like, hey, you mind if it goes this, yeah, they're like, yeah. So, like, pretty much, like, you know what I'm talking about here, like,
The phone was only set for text messaging for the specific purpose of making us all sound like James Brown. Oh, well, you me wanna help myself. Ah! What did you do? So it's actually starting to feel like hot outside as well, like summer's here, and you know what that means, right? Summer blockbusters. Fuck yeah. Getting those air-conditioned theaters. And air-conditioned theaters is like a, it's real personal for me because my first job was at a movie theater. First girl that I felt, oh yeah, what was that from? Thank you. We don't want to have to like trash you like that heckler that I heard about earlier, right? I didn't see that shit, but it sounded funny. Yeah, like my first job was at a movie theater. The first girl that I fell deeply in love with worked at a movie theater. And my first fucking date to go see a movie was at a movie theater. Pretty impressive. So that's why it pains me to say, fuck movie theaters. Oh my God. Have you seen this shit? It's $10 at least to go see a fucking movie right now. $10. Like, it doesn't even matter how good the movie is. You can go see a Nicolas Cage movie, you still have to at least pay $10. Everybody should get the Nicolas Cage discount. It's bullshit. So like, I mean, like, I'm not gonna lie, I make a pretty good amount of money. Like, I can afford $10 to go see a movie, like if I'm by myself or with a group of friends, but I'm not taking a date to see any of this shit. Because when you take a date, that's $20 at least right there, just on the tickets. And then you got popcorn, you got candy, you got drinks, that's another $20 to $30, that's $50 right there. But this motherfucker, I guarantee you, is gonna want dinner before that shit. And first date, she doesn't know if you're gonna be hanging around that much, so she's gonna do it up big. Like, this motherfucker's not gonna ask for McDonald's. She wants Applebee's. I can't afford Applebee's money. You have to spend $20 to see 4 turtles learn how to do karate from a fucking rat. I can't spend $13.50 on a fucking microwave fettuccine? Fuck that shit. That's just me. God damn. So we're having this shit up, and you got $13.50 for the fettuccine, you got the $50 for the movie. You're gonna spend a fucking arm and leg. And I speak for every guy in this room when I say, ladies, if I'm spending an arm and leg, I expect a hand and some mouth. And I don't mean this number. What you want me to do with the hand? No, that's not what I want. And if you really want to be grateful about the shit, we want some ass and mouth. But not in that order. Trying to keep it classy here. We want a little blowy Buttafuoco ordeal going on here. That's blowjob and butt fuck, but it's a 90s reference. If you, there's a difference. If you're either like living in the 90s or you're born in the 90s. You know who Joey Buttafuoco is and you're too old, right? I'm sorry. Wake up, people. You're old. So, oh, I'm laughing at people. That's funny. So, yeah. So, I mean, I don't want to spend that shit, but I mean, like, it's kind of easier this summer because I really just hate all the fucking movies that are coming out. I mean, I don't really, but I hate on them anyways because I want to save the money. So, is it just me, or is everything this summer just sequels, prequels, and remakes? Is that all it is, pretty much? Like, yeah. We all feel that. Okay, good. We got, let's see, what do we got here that's going on? Like, I mean, like, to be honest, like, this summer, the most interesting goddamn movie that's coming out is about a gun-toting raccoon. The fuck? It's as if, like, all the producers were like, fuck it, the 80s were cool. We're just gonna finally prove it in one fucking movie. Guns and raccoons. Woo, America. But, yeah, so we got that. Then we got, like, prequels coming out. We got, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. You guys want to see that shit? Fuck that movie. Like, okay, like this is my thing here. Like, is there any surprise in this movie? This movie came out like what, 1950? We all know the end. What? The apes take over. We don't really need the explanation as to why these apes took over. Like, it's not a surprise to me that if you take an animal that's 10 times stronger than us and enhance its intelligence, it's gonna take over. We have proven time and time again that a decomposing body with no motor skills will take over this earth, just roaming the streets. You've seen this shit in zombie movies. Do we ever win in zombie movies? Fuck, no, we don't win in zombie movies. These motherfuckers, they can't open doors. They can't climb ladders. They ain't got no weapons. And they damn sure didn't learn karate from a motherfucking rat. And they still tear us apart like hillbillies at a fucking wood grill. What the fuck is that? I'm not seeing that shit. Like, so it's no surprise to me that someone with the brain intelligence of Bill Gates and the body of Terry Crews is gonna take over this fucking earth. Sorry, I'm not impressed. Fuck you, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. I don't like it. But, I've already mentioned it twice so far, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles! Coming out in August! Hell yeah! Fuck that movie! Fuck that movie! You all know what the fuck happened? That shit came out in the 80s. You all know what the fuck happened with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Have you seen this trailer? Have you seen it? Ugh. Okay. I can believe that tiny turtles will land in some space ooze and then start fighting crime. But I find it very hard to believe that a 9-foot tall turtle that weighs 350 pounds needs to wear a little skimpy mask. What the fuck kind of secrets are you hiding, Teenage Ninja? Zits? That's some bullshit. Like seriously, you run around the streets, like, are you gonna go into a pet store and they're like, shit, which one is it? Uncanny. Is it the 9-foot one or the snapping turtle? And if you actually see this trailer, these fucking turtles, they crack goddamn bricks with their feet. They fucking smash Hummers with their backs. I don't know if you've seen the cartoon, but Shredder's a human, people. If he goes to block one of these roundhouse kids, you know what happens? His head gets ripped the fuck off. This movie's gonna take 5 minutes. I don't need to see that shit. You expect me to pay $10 to go see 90 minutes when all that happens is Shredder's gonna get his head fucking ripped off in the last 5 minutes? I don't think so. Fuck you, cow buttholes. That's bullshit. I got one last movie. This one, my all-time favorite childhood cartoon, so I got, you guys, I want you to give it up for the Transformers. Fuck yeah. I told you to give it up, and that's a bullshit that you give me? That's what I'm fucking talking about, the Transformers! Fuck yeah! Robots in the sky, rock that shit! You know how embarrassing it is that you're wishing that Shia LaBeouf was in a fucking movie? You know how embarrassing that is? That's really fucking sad. And cars have not advanced in the last, like, what, 30, 50, 60? I don't know how long cars have been out. I don't know history. It's been a long goddamn time. We've had cars for a long time. They've not advanced. Not at all. They don't fly. I don't give a shit. Cars, there's nothing surprising to me about cars right now. So there's nothing that this movie is gonna show me that's gonna impress me. They punch each other all the time. I don't give a shit. We get wrecks all the time. I don't give a shit. This shit's not impressive. With all these car genre movies, it's starting to feel to me like Paul Walker might have been on to something last year. Oh man, heard a little bit of moaning groans here, folks. That was just a tip. I didn't even put the fucking dick in yet. God damn. Wait for this. I didn't even move up yet. Hold on. Was that joke a little too soon for some of you?
let's not pretend that Paul Walker's career didn't crash and burn years ago.
That's what I'm talking about! My name is Winston Smith. Thank you!
Keep it going for Winston! Awesome! Alright, so that was our last comic of the evening, but our show is not over. So, what I'm about to do, we're about to do the improv, which is the reason all of you guys wrote on the index cards at the beginning of the show. I'm going to read off the list of comedians that have performed tonight. You guys are going to cheer for them while I'm reading them off, and any name that I read is invited to come up here, stand on stage in the back, and participate when you feel like you want to, like you can. Alright, so we're going to play 3 quick improv games. It's not going to take more than 5 minutes. I encourage you to stick around. Alright, everybody put your hands together for Tom Wagner, Trevor Stewart, Scotty McGee, Kristen Smith, Louis Jarvis Jr., Brooks Hoover, Chris Kurtz, Ian Oldman, Drew Cook, Farley, David James, Rosie, Paige Campbell, Raylan Riley, Drew Fridley, Will Smith, and Winston Smith. All right, so look at this. This should be an extended improv round. This will be fun. So, our first game is a relatively easy one. I'm gonna ask you guys for an example. The first game is called Sex With Me Is Like. So if one of you guys shouts out Walmart, these guys will have to come up to the mic and say something like, Sex With Me is like Walmart. They kind of have everything I need, but not exactly what I want. So, I need something to fill in the blank. Sex with me is like blank.
Sex with me is like Walmart. I fuck you all night and then you don't get paid.
Sex with me is like the crying game because I secretly have a penis.
Alright, that's considered cheating, but at least you guys laughed. I heard being set on fire. We're gonna start with that. Sex with me is like being set on fire.
Where's the lotion? Oh, where's the lotion?
Sex with me is like being on fire because it's painful and you're happy when it's over.
Sex with me is like being set on fire because at first it seemed like a good idea and afterward it just burns.
Sex with me is like being set on fire because there's just a lot of pain and anger involved, and there's sometimes gasoline and matches, some inappropriately placed candles. Sex with me is like being set on fire because you have to stop, drop, and roll to get all the weird shit out of your butthole.
All right, one more.
Sex with me is like being set on fire because it's more tragic when it happens to children.
Okay, with that, we move on to our second improv game of the night. How many of you guys have seen the show At Midnight? Yeah. All right, so they play hashtag wars on that game. The hashtag we're playing tonight is hashtag ruin a kid's movie, or ruin a family film. So you walk up to the mic and give an example like The Lion Kingpin, or How to Train Your Gungan, or Itty Bitty Gangbang. All right, so hashtag ruin a family film, here we go.
How to Train Your Dragon to Suck Your Dick.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles by Michael Bay.
Daryl is my boyfriend.
Finding Nemo, a new home deep inside my anus.
The convenient Care Bears clinic.
Does anyone have any more suggestions for a hashtag? All right, I guess we're gonna move on to the third game. This is you guys' suggestions. This is scenes from a hat. I asked you guys to return your pens. There's 2 pens in that hat. 3. All right. I hope these are good. Thank you guys for participating. All right. Here are your scenes. Squirrels fucking.
Where's your nut?
Now you'll notice that the interesting thing about squirrels mating is that the male squirrel's tail ruffles up very slightly when he's about to ejaculate into the female's mating. And when the female is about ready to receive the male's seed, she kind of perks her ears up, and then when it's all said and done, they go back to the tree for a long night's rest for the winter, where they have put nuts and berries in the tree to eat during the cold months.
So Chip says to Dale, do you think this is wrong?
All right. Walmart After Dark adult film.
Clean up aisle 5.
Roll back.
Move your scooter a little to the left.
All right. Star Wars themed circumcisions.
Use the Force, Luke.
The Force is strong with this one.
Let the Wookiee win.
This is not the foreskin you're looking for.
Misa don't want no foreskin. All right, I'm very curious about this.
Everything is coalescing as I have foreseen.
So this one should be interesting. What Miss Anonymous, who is in the front row, is doing right now?
Fuck all those comedians, damn it! Sitting on the couch, watching Lifetime, box of wine, Xanax. Honey, give me attention.
These 7-Eleven hot dogs are rolling the wrong way.
I can't wait to get home to get that Trojan inside of me that the comedian gave me.
Yeah!
I hope I'm not late. We're supposed to start filming the Walmart adult film in 15 minutes.
Kanye West rehearsing 100 Years of Solitude.
Yo, Kanye, I want to let you finish. Oh, wait, I'm talking to myself.
Do they have Cliff cliff notes for this?
All right, a guy trying to hit on a woman who is 8 feet tall.
The dude's 8 feet tall or the dude's 8 feet
The woman is 8 feet tall.
Hi, my name's Will. I guess, should we get started? No, hi.
Goddamn! I just want to give you a kiss right on the lips.
That was me eating her out.
Why do I smell fish?
All right, a real estate agent trying to sell a house on a volcano.
Heating bills cheap.
This property's hot.
Now, it may not look like much, but my feet are on fire.
And you only have to give up one virgin a year.
All right. So, the next huge laugh, you guys get to decide when the show ends. The next huge laugh is the end of the show. All right. What presidents say when they are caught cheating?
Now, Michelle, it's imperative that you do not cut my balls off at this moment, right now.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
I did not tape anything.
Oh man, I need this like I need a hole in the head.
Aw, you all swear that bitch meant nothing to me?
And that's our show. Thank you for coming to the Hot Spot Open Mic Comedy Show. You want to do it next time, talk to me. Find us on Facebook. Everybody keep shouting. Put your hands together for AV for letting us put this on.
Let's hear it for the wonderful host, Ken Edwards.
Thank you so much. Please tip Ellie at the bar. We'll see you next month. Thank you so much for coming.